meeting order at this time. I'd like to welcome everybody. And at this time, I'd like for you to stand and do the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, this is sophomore cadet Rowdy Kinzer, and he's one of the first sergeants of our company, one of our companies. And then Dustin, go ahead and go through your after that. And this is Lieutenant Dustin Morrison, who is also a sophomore this year. They're both part of our leaders. He is actually the executive officer for our company. So, and they are honored to come up here and do the pledge for you, and just waiting for any questions you might have to ask them.
I know Rowdy's daddy. His daddy's name's Rowdy too, right? Yeah, you're Rowdy too.
I like the
You're bigger than your dad. Well, you were when your dad.
He's about right here.
Okay. A little bit taller than your dad.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Rowdy has put forth a lot of effort because at one time he was a bit overweight, and he has gotten down to where he is meeting height and weight standards for military standards now. His dream is to go into the Marine Corps, and he actually wants to do that as a profession and then go on to college while he's there. And the other thing is now he actually can run 5 kilometers in about 28 minutes, so somewhere in that area. So he's actually doing a lot better.
And I see. Okay, his name,
Dustin Morrison.
Dustin Morrison.
I'll tell you, I commend you guys and what you do. And like I say, your plans are to serve the country. I think it's great, and wish you the best. And whatever, Marines, whatever you're thinking about, the same as.
I'd like to go to the Army.
Oh, okay. You can't go wrong either way, hopefully, to use Sergeant Carroll. But I commend you. And I tell you what, man, you got to bring these guys on if you pick. You got some good-looking soldiers, I tell you.
Yeah, and y'all did really good at Belfry, right?
Well, we did. Both of these two were some of the competitors that actually went to Belfry. We got we got first place in the tug of war, and actually East Carter was our last goal, and they were challenged, but we wound up beating them. And then we got third place overall in the Army Physical Fitness Test, which you have to do a minute of push-ups, a minute of sit-ups, and a 1-mile run. And so we had a couple of people that dropped in that were a little injured, but getting over sickness is what it was. But we did pretty good overall.
I commend you. Like I said, of course, I was mandatory when I was going to school. You had to take ROTC, but we had cadet of the week. I got pretty good at spit shines and polish my brass. I was pretty good at that. I got cadet of the week a number of times. So.
That's good.
They don't know
That's
what
about
this
as far as I went.
spit shining is no longer done with these kind of boots, and I kind of miss it. I liked whenever I could actually see the dedication of the cadets or the soldiers by seeing who would actually take the time and shine their boots.
Perfection. I mean, I want to be perfectionist. I want to have the best shine boots in the squad. But I commend you and wish you the best. And wish you
We're very
what you do.
proud.
Y'all still use Chastity Avenue to train us, start?
We do. That's a part of our 5-kilometer run. We run all the way down here to in front of the Senior Citizen Center, turn around and go back up Cassidy,
Yeah.
cross down the bike path, and go back up to the school as a part of our 5-kilometer
Great.
run.
Great. Yeah.
And now we're training for a 13-mile road march, these two are, and they kind of got wet on that this afternoon.
Do you have to pack so much gear?
They're doing what we call Hollywood, which they're not going to carry a load. They could go into the heavy, which would be a 35-pound rucksack that they would have to carry above and beyond their water. So they still have to carry their own water. So we're giving them about a gallon of water to carry with each one of them while they're doing this, because it's going to be fun. I think we have a good chance of actually winning the event in Gatlinburg for that Mountain Men Memorial March. But like I said, they did get a little wet today trying to do 8 miles. That's what they were trying to do. Didn't quite make it.
In that storm?
Well, they got caught in a storm
Oh,
up there.
yeah. Oh, they were carried, yeah.
So I had 8 uncles serve in the armed service in World War II, and of course some of them were in the Navy, some in the Army. My dad was in the Army and Marines and this and that. I think they used to fight when they came home though for each other because of, which was the best.
Services, yeah.
I think our family had more people served in World War II at that particular.
Yeah, see,
I'm proud of them. So.
I like the service rivalries. My dad was a Marine, and my in-laws are all Navy. I mean, my father-in-law was retired Navy, my sister-in-law was retired Navy, but I outrank all of them, so.
Oh, that was good. Well, my dad was a Marine, man, I tell you, that he was tough.
Oh, some of the punishments that my dad came up with from his Marine Corps training when I was a kid, I'll never forget.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be.
All right, don't want to let y'all get to your business, because I know y'all have a lot to do, so.
Thank you all very
Thank
much.
Thank you very much.
Our next item is a moment of silence. We ask each one to join us. Thank you. And our next item's going to be Student Spotlight, Sherman Park High School academic team and the FCCLA speakers.
Okay, the first group we have, the list of students that participated in the JV Challenge and or the Governor's Cup this year. So we'll start out with the first group, and we'll do like what we have done, if I can grab a hold of them. On the certificate here, it says Martin County School Student Spotlight. This certificate is awarded to, and then the first one we have is Shania Goldman. If you want to go down there by Carolyn, we'll start us a line here.
Okay, this is the academic team.
This is the academic team, and it's for exemplifying the value of the Martin County Board of Education is what is also on the certificate. So the next one I have is Megan Stead. Megan Mother. Liz Staten. Katie Stead. Wesley Goble. Stevie Hensley. Lindsey Horn. Jacob Ward. Jacob McKenzie. Trinity Wiley. Cameron McCormick. Oh yeah. Corey Priest. Callie Mullins. Trevor Blackburn. Jay Mahale. Hannah Ward. Lindsay Milson. Latasha Don.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Goble, are you Mr. Goble? Mm-hmm. Okay, did you get a tutor?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, your mom just, he's going on to state competition.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yes.
and his mother called the other day, wanted to make sure that he got a tutor to help you in state competition.
Yeah.
So that's already to take care of, right?
Yeah.
All right.
When do you leave?
Is it the 19th, Mr. Osborne?
Your state starts the 19th, your test will be the 20th.
And we do have, I will say, we do have the academic team coach here, Mr. Osborne. If there's anything you'd like to share or add.
enough time to go through the list of everything I'm proud of and what the team's done. They put a ton of work in. They've been super cooperative this year. If I tell them, you know, we've got to meet soon, we need to stay till 8, they say, sure. And every one of them will be there. They put the time in and they deserve to be recognized. I do want to recognize 2 people in specific. That was Mr. Goebel, actually, if you'll step to the front. He is the first qualifier at state at Sheldon Clark in a decade. So,
All right.
And next to him, his sister, Shania Goebel, also got through district, was on the all-region tournament. And the reason I want to recognize her, she's our lone senior. And a team like this doesn't come together in 1 year. It's been many years of work, and I would call Shania the first stone that was laid in this team and the success they've had. We had you know, as far as our qualifiers, we had our best run that's been had at Sheldon Clark in 20 years. But we're not happy. This team is very young, and I think we can take it much, much further next year. So they all deserve congratulations and recognition. So thank you guys for that.
And that way I can get, I've always hit Mr. Osborne for a picture of it.
Yeah.
You need to be with them.
Okay. Shania in the front.
I didn't do anything, but get lucky with the kids that what they were doing.
Anything any of you guys would like to add or say to that, anything? Ms. Hanson, get you? All right.
Okay, ready? Everybody look at me. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Gotcha.
I would just like to say, and of course, I'm always, and I appreciate this. Last time Mr. Osborne came down, of course, we went through some things, and I actually gave him, you know, I wasn't very complimentary, but I wanted to compliment.
I didn't know.
But I appreciate, and like you said, you're taking some strides. I'm really proud of these kids and what they've done, best finish in 20 years, and of course, what Wesley's done, not just Wesley, but everybody. And, you know, we've made some tremendous strides, and I appreciate, you know, the teachers, the faculty, and Dr. Laney supporting the academic team, because I push for this and push for it. And whatever we can do as a board, I think this board will. If you need something, we're more than happy to give it to you, especially when we see performance. Like I say, you should have some academic swagger about you, and I'm proud of you. And hey, it's I'd like to see. I get on Facebook not real often, but I would like to see, you know, about the good things. I see a lot of bad things. Is there anything that we can do as far as promoting our kids and on Facebook? Or I don't know if we have somebody that does that, but I like to hear about what's going on and how well you do, and just not just once a year or whatever. I like to how you doing competitions. I think that's what it's all about, the positive. And, you know, I read a lot of negative, but I never read the good. And you guys are what it's all about. You are the good. And I appreciate the job that you have done. And like I said, I compliment and commend you, all your kids. And you know, our kids will get an opportunity, can compete. And I don't know how many freshmen and sophomores you have in that group. I hear a lot about your young talent. And what I expect from that, I expect you to take that title away from Paintsville and Johnson Central. And I challenge you to work for that and put them out of there.
We took it from Paintsville this year.
That's great. That's great.
Paintsville this year.
Man, that's what it's all about.
But they're very, very young. They're, like I said, Shania's the only senior, Liz is the only junior. The rest of them are freshmen and sophomores.
Great job.
Thank you.
The principal, I forgot to mention, he actually, as you know, has a physics degree, and he is working with Mr. Goebel. He worked with him one day last week, and he'll work with him one day this week on his science. Ms. Harmon also is helping. So we've got some people lined up, and we hope he makes a run at state.
Okay, all right.
But I remember the last time that we talked, of course, you said, you know, a coordinator would be, and I think we got a good person in place there. But if there's anything that we can do to help this academic team, don't, and if he doesn't, if your coach doesn't ask, hey guys, you come and ask us, all right?
Well, I think Wesley's mom had called me and get science, is that correct? And I didn't know who to get. I thought of Miss McCoy because she was a biology teacher, or I didn't think about Dr. Rainey because she has your physics degree, so it'd be obvious, the choice. I'm just glad to get somebody.
I graduated from Sheldon Park High School in 1974. And I'll tell you right now, as far as Johnson Central goes, if we're playing marbles, I want a cream. I want to beat them in everything. They were our rival, wasn't they?
Yes, they were.
And as far as I'm concerned, they're still my rival. So go after them, man. Go get them.
I'll certainly make Martin County proud. Continue that.
We have another group here also at the board meeting this evening, and we have Miss Marcy Hanson here and Corey Borders. They're going to be able to tell us a little bit about the students, the next students that we have, their projects that they did. They worked very hard on their projects. I'll go ahead and announce these students, and then Marcy, they can say a few words about them. Again, right here, Martin County School Student Spotlight. This certificate is awarded to Shelby Borders. And to clarify, this is the FCCLA. So, Shelby, you can, yeah. Skyla Besser. Devin Cassidy. Congratulations. Carson Hanson. And Macy Harless. Miss Hanson.
Okay, well, I actually didn't know I was speaking. But I know Miss Chaffins was unable to be here this evening, and she did mention to me on Friday that she wanted to recognize them. They all finished first in their divisions in their regional competition. I think I'm going to go back here to Connie Harless and let her tell a little bit more about that. But the kids did an amazing job. I was honored to serve as a judge for some of the events, and I actually didn't see any of one of theirs. But they just, the work that they put into the projects that they did was simply incredible. The girls have done a countywide anti-bullying campaign, and I mean, I've seen it all over Facebook. I think they've been on the radio and several different other places. Carson and Devin have created they've done a video and have been promoting and publicizing FCCLA and the accomplishments of the school throughout the community. And Macy her project was especially, to me, and I did get to see it because she did one on childhood cancer. You want to tell a little bit about it? Since you're the president, I figured I could pick on you a little bit.
I did my project about Pediatric Patients, which is a nonprofit organization to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And this is because most of you may know that my first cousin was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 1, and now he's cancer-free, and I mainly did it for him because he's my hero, and as well as all my family members.
And nothing could be more powerful than that kind of inspiration.
Of course, these are my next babies coming up to me. I'm very proud of this group. You know, Carol's done awesome. She always has a feeder program for me. And, you know, Carol's retiring this year, so we have to fill that position because this is very important to our children. All Children doesn't do academic, All Children doesn't do sports, but FCCLA is definitely a leadership group. They are learning to become leaders in our society and with their careers and in their homes. And FCCLA is the only student organization with family as the central focus. So we know before we can have strong communities, we have to have strong families. So everything they do helps promote those leadership skills in their families. And so I'm very proud of them. Of course, I got a little bit of good news too, like, they like it out beating Johnson Central. Well, guess what? We got some winners over Johnson Central with our high school group, so,
Yeah.
All right, y'all gather together here.
Anybody else here have anything they want to add to or say?
I just want to say amen to what Ms. Harless said there about that job, that position. Oh, I know that Ms. Chapin is she's retiring, I guess, resigning, retiring. I don't really know what it is because I did it and I don't know what I call it. But she is so proud of this group of people. I already knew about these people, and she told me about some of the projects, and she is very concerned about the program must go on. That feeder program must go on to the high school. So I will amen your concern about that program, Ms. Harless, and it's you got to have it, not just to I mean, I can't deal with personnel, or I can be ripped out of here, which sometimes I'd like to be ripped out of here. But I can say that I think that program should go on. And thank you for mentioning that. And I hope whoever is in charge of filling that position does so.
But they will have big shoes to fill because Ms. Chapin has done an amazing job with these kids.
I'd just like to congratulate you and keep up the good work, and, you guys make me look good. So,
Yeah.
I like that. And
That's a hard job.
Yeah, that's a hard job.
Very proud.
I want you to know I appreciate it, and I'm proud of it, and like I say, you used to have a little swagger in your step, but I was talking about being a coach. Feel good about it.
Well, I do want to say a thing about Shelby because, and all y'all, kids do great. Shelby, I got a column last year in my paper, and it was written by, a fifth grader, and I'm, okay, and it was extremely well written. Very, very. I mean, I couldn't believe this was, a fifth grade kid. And she wrote, a few columns last year, and I figured her duties and stuff was going to middle school to make it tough. But yeah, we got some smart kids.
Absolutely.
Smart kids.
Absolutely.
Together, squeeze, keep squeezing.
Hey, could you put one of the girls on the other end? Just to make it a little bit more,
Yes, come over here next to Mr. Gobble.
make it more balanced.
You want me to come out, step out,
No,
step?
I would like for you.
Oh, you want me to stay in, have her on this side? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
isn't that
okay.
nice?
Yes, that's very nice. That's awesome.
Give it some balance.
All right, ready? I got you.
Hold still.
Oh,
Got you.
All right.
Get. That's it.
Okay. Our next item is going to be discussion and possible approval of February 8th, 2016 board minutes.
I think the high school FCCLA. Is it upstairs too?
Do,
Who has them? Who has them?
was there another, those are the certificates I had. Was there another bag?
No.
Do we have someone else here, Ms. Hanson?
Ms. Harless.
We got a whole lot here.
I don't have certificates.
So can Connie?
Connie, why don't you do the announcing of your individuals to come up here? We don't want to go.
Introduce them and
Okay,
A certificate will be forthcoming.
okay, that'll be fine. All my students couldn't show up, but I guess I'll start with my culinary team, I have to always tell this, Mickey. Mickey beat me in 4-H in middle school at cooking. No, he's always had some very good speaking skills though, right, Mickey?
Yeah.
Probably some good speaking skills.
And I was
too.
pretty good at deviled eggs too.
Yeah.
He
I
can
make
sell,
brownies.
he can sell snow to an Eskimo.
So anyways, that was a fun thing though, wasn't it, Mickey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I
Really
never
good
did graduate though and become a culinary artist like you and
Oh,
your Connie cookies.
No, the Connie cookies get us a long way though, I tell you, all the way across the state actually with Connie cookies. I had a student got in front of the whole state FCCLA and said that he made Connie cookies to fundraise for Children's Miracle Network. And we did, so.
Good.
But my culinary team is not here with us tonight, but I have Ashley Mills, I have Shayna Melton, and Tara Mullet. And let me tell you, some of those girls have come outside their box to be able to participate in this. So they've done a really good job. They did beat Johnson Central. All of our winners will move on to state on the 28th, 29th. I have my advocacy team here, and that would be Megan Harless and Callie Mullins. And they have been advocating for females to have equality in education. So they have worked hard on their project. I have Marissa Mills, and her teammates are not here, but they are working on, they've had a coffee shop that is an entrepreneur project. So
I've been honored to be the person who has been sampling the coffee products, and they are quite good.
So they've worked on that, and then I have some girls that's worked on sports nutrition, and that is Josie Howard and Hannah Ward. They also got the opportunity to talk to the softball team and to try to train them on proper nutrition and hydration and those things to be in that sport. And I have one girl that is a loner there. It's a one-person competition, and it was Bethany Crum, and she actually took her grandfather's shirt and made her grandmother an apron out of it, and has done an awesome job. I'm really proud of her. So, am I leaving somebody out, girls? It's maybe not here. No, we're good? Okay, so these kids will be traveling to state meeting on the 28th. And I have to say, my Megan is getting ready to run for state officer. So we are very proud of her. You have to keep us informed.
Ms. Harless, I think Mr. Osborne has your certificates with him.
Okay. I know you called them.
I called them off, man.
Yeah, so that's okay. We'll get them at school tomorrow. No. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, no, wait a minute, picture. I mean, you know I'm here.
That's right. We better have a picture.
Join.
Okay, ready? Everybody look at me. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
3, 2, 1. Gotcha.
I think that's it.
Okay,
Thank you, God.
now, we've got discussion and possible approval of February 8, 2016. I hope everybody's had a chance to read it through. Does anyone have any questions or comments on it? If not, I'm going to need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Have a motion, to have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on February 29, 2016 special call meeting. Any questions or comments?
Question,
Okay.
order 1316. Voted to table this item. Is there any update about that particular item? It has to do for for the audience's knowledge, it has to do with the maintenance on the softball and baseball field. And I believe, Roger, what was that? We were to contact go ahead, you know.
Well, we'd ask for, I guess, the fertilization of the field and whatever, that contact, which Mike did, right, the extension agent, and plus, as far as taking care of the field,
I suggested that we do it in-house. Maybe we could do it on our own and see how expensive it would be, and he checked. Would you mind telling him how much money we saved?
Well, it was $1,200 a month is what you were paying to an outside independent contractor. Our guys went the next day and got certified through UK, and they're gonna go take a couple of days of training. We're already doing over-the-counter products from Scott's Turf Builder. But we can do that part in-house with the maintenance department.
And how much was it?
$1,200 a month you were paying.
Right, but how much was it for us to send that?
Training.
$50
$50.
per person.
So that worked out.
This will not, is there anything about the time delay? Is there a problem with the delay that we have?
Yeah.
And what needs to be done to the field now?
No, we're up to, we're at the
You're-
part where it's at right now.
Okay.
Everything's caught up and
It is.
proceeding as required by UK Extension and
Okay,
MSD sheets on our chemicals that we're using.
okay, thank you.
and I was at the game Saturday, and I thought the field, for this time of year, I thought it looked was good. And plus, we're talking about maintaining, which, we bought the drag machine, whatever it's called, and of course, when we did that, and also a new lawnmower, when we did that, that was for the coaches to do that work themselves, so.
Well, actually, I don't think the coaches, that's not in their job description. I think we should hire someone like we have before, because not only the high school uses that field, the middle school uses the field, and the girls softball field. There's other teams that use the girls softball field too. And we could pay someone to come in and mark the fields, because who's gonna mark it if they're gonna be gone? That's how we got the field, middle school. The high school is gone, and the middle school uses the field. And I don't think that's in the coach's job description or their job duty to mark the field.
No, I think that we first did that when he volunteered to do that. That's what, we never did deal with that personnel or anything. I mean, he spoke up one night, I think, didn't he, Mr. Harles?
Yeah, he volunteered, that's the reason, he said if we can have
But we
if
still
we can
need,
have this machine and get a lawnmower, he said, I can save you money by taking care of the field. And I've been a baseball coach, and I would prefer, being a coach, depends on, I'm going to manicure my field depending on what kind of team I got, whether I got speed or whether I'm slow. I would prefer, myself as a coach, I prefer doing it myself, and of course my players help, but, that's my feelings about it.
Well,
but who's gonna do it for the middle school? Is he gonna do it for the middle school too?
Well,
We need to hire someone
I
to
was under
mark
the
the
impression
fields.
he wanted to do it, completely because there were some problems with the using of the mower, sharing with other places, the crabgrass.
Yeah.
He wanted to be completely over to make
Well,
sure
that's-
that
Right, but that will be a problem now.
that
We
the
have two
field
mowers.
stayed. Huh?
But that will be a problem now. We have two mowers, and whoever, if someone is hired to come in and mark the field for the other teams, not just the high school team, then they should use those mowers too. They can't, we won't have to have someone that has their own mowers. We can use the same mowers that we
Yeah,
bought
sure.
for the baseball and the softball.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's designated for that, it's not going to
Right.
be used for
Right.
anything
Right,
else.
and that's what we need, and that's what I would like to discuss that during the business, hiring someone to come in and mark the fields. Not just for the high school, but for the middle school and for the softball field. And there's other people that use the softball field too. There's a little league. that
I'd
uses-
probably rather discuss this with Coach Bowen and get his input on it, you know what I mean?
Why?
I
I don't think he has anything to do with the middle school.
Well,
If he
no,
wants to
but,
mark his field, that's fine for his
yeah,
games.
well, yeah, well,
He's not
what I'm
gonna be here
saying,
to mark the field for the middle school
yeah,
games.
well, he doesn't have anything to do with the middle school, except for the feeder program, but I'm sure he wants input as far as lining the field and maintaining it and everything.
I don't know why. I mean, it's called marking a field.
Huh?
These people have done it before.
Huh.
We can discuss it during.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I think we're going out the window here
Yes.
and discussing something
Okay,
that.
Yeah.
let's, does anybody have any more on the, minutes of the special board meetings? If not, I need a motion to accept.
Motion made.
Have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, our next item is discussion and possible action on treasure orders in the amount of $184,585.07.
Okay, the treasurer warrants, which ones are those?
Which, is this, I've got mine out of order here, just a
I
moment.
do too.
I had some questions on, is this, cash account 10? What is the total on that, Madam Chair?
Okay, on the total paid warrants and everything was $184,585.07.
Okay, but is it the one that's through the Munis? Is that the one? I'm trying to figure out which one it is, and it
No.
says cash account 10 on the top. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what that's what we're talking about. Okay,
Is that the treasurer orders, or is that the paid warrants?
that's the warrant.
The warrant.
Yeah.
Mrs. Walker. I'll open them up for you. and look at it. That's what they report. Okay, can you scroll down a little bit on the?
I have a question for the attorney.
What's your question?
I have several questions. Actually, I'm not denying the money is owed on any of these vendors and the purpose. It's just I need a better understanding of the purpose so I can, or in some of these cases, the amounts paid. Can I, as an individual board member, can I hold off on a vote on these orders until I meet with the treasurer? Or,
If everyone's gonna vote, you're just gonna vote with the majority if you abstain.
is there any, that's what
If the
I,
board wants to, I haven't seen these bills, I don't know what your questions are about them, I have no idea what they even are. But if you have some serious questions and concerns, you can table approving this if you want. I don't know if that's a smart idea, if you've got,
I don't
if
think
you've
that's a
got
real.
bills due. I don't know what your questions are, I'm not familiar with what these bills are, but.
Okay, let me ask you this, sir.
Abstain.
Is there any way that I can put out, abstention I don't think will allow me to do this, but if I abstain and the bills are voted on, they pass and everything, can I at a later date, at the next meeting, before we approve the minutes, change my vote to a yay or a nay?
Well, what you have to understand about abstention is, if the majority approved, you've already voted yea.
Right, I know.
You just want it noted that you abstained? Because it'll note that you abstained, but your vote's gonna go towards the majority if there's a majority.
I know it will go toward the majority, but at no other previous time, if I did find something that, okay, thank you.
All right, Tammy's not here, so I don't need to ask the question.
That's why I was gonna wait, but that's okay.
That's within your all's discretion.
Well,
If
we
you don't
have-
feel comfortable approving these right now, you can
Well,
table
what
them, but I
happens
don't,
What happens if we table them?
We can come
if
back
you
for a
don't pay your
special
bills, that's an
meeting.
issue, so I don't know that it's a smart thing.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mean to open up a can of worms with anybody, maybe, you all had time to look at these, I've had time to look at these. I just had some questions that I need to really, maybe in my own mind, ask, so I know how I'm gonna vote, so.
Well, we have a water and sewage and AEP Kentucky Power, and it's about $6,500. What are these? I mean, it's not that we're paying them, we're
I don't
paying.
know anything about the bills, Gary.
Okay,
Caroline,
well, I know
do you
that,
have any idea what these are for?
What I can tell you
That's
is it's
why I
normally a
have
good
to-
idea to go ahead and pay the bills. I mean, you might run into some trouble if you don't, if there's a power bill and you're late on it.
no, it's not a power bill, it says what it's for, but it's paid to the Martin County Economic Development. It's not paying it's not paying a,
Which one are you looking at?
right here. Water and sewage, and an AEP Kentucky Power, almost $6,000. What are these, why are we, I mean, what are they for?
Well,
I
see
thought
here-
that was for several months. I saw that. I thought that was for several months. I was shocked at first, but then I read it again. Look at the dates on that. Gary.
Yeah, it's got 7/20 and 8/6 from last year up to this point. I mean, if that a,
Have we paid it for a year?
what right here?
These are questions for the treasurer. Very-
Yeah,
I mean,
That's why I
Okay.
brought this up. I know how I'm gonna, go ahead.
Okay.
If you want to, we could table it, and we could come back this week and have whoever prepared this come in and explain it to us.
well,
What would that do? I'd like to ask about item on 11. Was the football field damaged when the blade went across it? Is that why we had to have to pay for $3,300 to have it repaired?
The blade went across it.
where's that
Yes,
at?
up at the football field,
Yeah, well, where's it at on the?
on page 11.
Oh, that was way back in the
the
last
fall.
fall.
Yeah, according to Ms. Harmon, the extensive use of one end of the field by everybody that uses it, from soccer to football to little football to miniature football. The wear and tear on that area of the field by the concession stand has resulted in somebody having to come in and hand some of the field back.
Has anyone investigated to see if there was any damage done recently that I spoke with you about?
We've been up there, but no damage is apparent at this time, so.
There was also one on page 12, computer service registration, 1,588. Does anybody know?
I would say that's Mr. Mullins, his conferences.
I asked him, he had no knowledge of what I was talking about. There was some more on here. There's two over here with his name on them, so I don't know if that's the Stanley Steamer for $960 for the library at Eden. That's a lot, isn't it? How big is the library?
Pretty good size.
It's good size.
To come in
Mr.
and totally, do the entire carpet that runs into some conditions that were down there in the carpet.
Anything, Mr. Hall, that you?
I can vouch that the carpets have never been cleaned at Eden for the entire time that the school's been there. And so we definitely need to have that done.
Plus, that's where some of the leaks are, too, right?
I thought maybe that's what that
They did
was.
clean where some of the leaks were, yeah.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to pay them.
Okay.
But noting these things here that we would like to know what these are.
You can approve them and then look further into them after that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably what I'd recommend.
Yeah. But because it's a shame not to pay, anybody because you've got questions about a few, but mine would be, of course, the power bill and the sewer bill to the Martin County Economic Development Authority. Why so much, how long it's for, what it's for.
And what page was that on, Gary?
That's
7?
on page,
It's on page 7.
page 7,
Report.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we paying this?
It's Magic Mark for $2,400.
So I wouldn't be wasting
What's that for?
I mean, if we just come back in a couple of days,
But you have that option.
I think that would, if we've got that many questions, maybe have somebody come and explain to us why.
Yeah, there's a couple other items on there I had a couple questions about too.
So can I get a motion to table it then?
You can table it, and then you can call a special meeting in 2 days if you want. But generally, the treasurer is here to take questions.
Yeah, it makes it, yep, if she's here. though.
She's on leave.
She's on leave, so I don't know.
Yes, her treasurer's on leave right now,
Okay.
so it's prepared by someone else.
That's it from here.
So what to,
Oh,
yeah, there's quite a few things
what
on
is
there.
this, you know, that is,
What one?
that's, you know, that's, you know, this is not, I can't understand this.
Page 6, I guess it's 2292. KA is,
Please let the record show that I'm not failing to pay the bills because they're not owed. I just know that the board is in a,
What is
Way
that,
with
what
money
is that
back.
item, the K on page 6?
I want
Item
to
2292.
just ask a few questions.
I don't have any idea.
Is there a motion to table on
Yeah,
the
that's
floor
fine,
right
do
now?
I have a motion to table it until we can find out why?
Well, the only thing that I hate is that there are other, I mean, it's, you know, we have INA ShopRite, we have a lot of vendors that do need to be paid.
I agree with that, we do.
Every
All
vendor
bills.
needs to be paid.
Yeah, every vendor needs to be, except for the ones we have questions about. And I'm not
So-
saying they're not legitimate, I'm just saying that we need to, on page 6, there's, down at the bottom,
Number 2292.
2292, what is this for?
Do you want to know?
What is do you think a couple
What
of
is
days
the
is
item
gonna
of
be
difference, so I don't know if we can say, show.
Not necessarily. I'd probably recommend you go ahead and you can approve the payment and look into the certain ones you have questions about. Or you can, what you can do is you can approve the payment of all but a couple, the ones you have questions about, and come back on those in a day or two. Just specifically, when you make your motion, mention the ones that you're not approving.
So approve what you've got now, and then come back later.
You can approve,
Without the ones that we don't want
yeah, the ones that
Yeah.
you don't want to approve tonight, you can
to omit them?
table those.
And table those, okay, that
So
would
what
be
you,
good.
so what I would do is make a motion to approve all bills but whichever one you all have
Okay.
questions on.
All right, I make a motion that we approve.
Well, we have to name the ones we have
Yes,
questions
we
on.
have to name
Yeah,
the
I
ones we
know,
have.
but I'll make a motion to
Well, then we'll
approve
have to go through here and make our,
all bills except the numbers, and I'll number them out, that we have a question on, and that would be vendor number 2292. All right. Page 7 would be vendor number 4848, 2 items.
and 1733, 2 items on page 7.
1733.
Mhm.
Right, I'll make sure that's part of my motion.
Where was your first one? What page was your first one?
page 6,
What was it?
2292, I believe.
Yeah, 2292, 2 items of 4848, and 2 items of 1733. 33.
And what about all the service office supply? Desk, chairs, bus pass forms, file folder, planner, calendar. I don't under, 1578, add that, all of those. Desk and chairs, $513. We got a new desk and chair,
Okay,
What
that's,
page you on, Lois?
page 10.
is that just one,
I mean, I would think that would have to be approved before.
is that just one?
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Yeah, 6.
6 items?
Mhm.
On page 10.
And then, on page 12, there's really not, it's a big long number. It says computer service registration, 1588,
Okay, what page 12?
page 12. The fourth item down, I don't know.
Let's see. I just see travel.
And I see board property, board travel.
It's got an org code beside it. It's school psychologist.
That's on that though. So if we don't approve these, what happens? They're not paid?
Yeah, they won't be paid.
Okay.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and do this? Make a motion to pay, I'll make a motion to pay.
Motion's on the floor.
Okay, my motion's on the floor to pay all the bills except for vendor number 2292. 2 items on vendor number 4848. 2 items on vendor number 1733. And 6 items on vendor number 1578.
I think there was one that Mrs. Walker said computer conference.
Services.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
1588, I'm not really sure what that's for.
For Magic Mark, did you get that one?
Yeah, you got it, okay.
What's the number on that, Ms. Walker?
It's a big, long number. It's on page 12. It wasn't just a regular number like the rest
Yeah, I
of them.
Okay.
Okay, just give us the long number, I'll write it down.
I'll give you the last 4.
Yeah.
0338.
0338. How many items on that?
Just one.
Just one item. Okay, my motion then will be to pay all of our bills except for the ones that I mentioned, correct?
Okay,
And add 0338. I'll make a motion to pay all the bills except for these numbers.
okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
And you know, there was one on here that had the attorneys that did our title work, and I thought we already paid them. That may have been on a different piece of paper.
But even if they had a couple of days, wouldn't make any difference in
Yeah.
their bills to just wait and come back and go over all of them.
You might want to visit a date for that special meeting during new business. I don't know how it would be done, Mr. Attorney.
No, what'd you say?
I said she might want, or we might want to visit the date of that special meeting to approve these bills
Wednesday, Thursday?
during new business.
Or you
Yeah.
just, yeah, you can pick a date today, or you can pick a date after.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
but you will have to give the standard notice, I mean, you can't.
Yes, the
Right.
20 notice.
So Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday? Doesn't matter to me, which day is good with you all, Wednesday,
This is
Thursday?
good for
Thursday.
Any day, any day. We just need to get this done. We need to find out what's what and go with it, okay?
Okay.
4:30 guys, or 4:30?
Anytime.
Wednesday?
Yeah,
I thought you said Thursday.
Either day.
Thursday.
Thursday's good.
Okay.
Yeah, Thursday's good for me.
Recommend whoever knows about these bills, whoever's.
Be
you'll
here.
Yes.
probably
You have to be
there.
here.
They were your
Request
answer
that they
questions,
be
Or
here.
you're gonna be in the same boat.
Yes.
Okay.
So we table all the bills, so the motion is to table all.
Yes, until we can find out what's going on.
So you're tabling everything.
Yes.
So you're taking.
Okay.
So we're not paying any tonight.
Are you confused yet?
Now, wait, we had a motion on the floor to pay bills except excluding,
I don't,
and these numbers were written down.
Nobody seconded.
Nobody seconded, died for lack of a
Right,
second?
right, for lack of a second, okay.
Okay.
So,
Now somebody needs to make a motion.
motion to table it.
To
I'll make a
table all.
motion to table it.
Okay, have a motion to table it. I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, our next item is going to be discussion of possible action on paid warrants in the amount of $517,843.50. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Well, I think the paid warrants are what we were looking at.
Okay, so we just table that
We'll
too?
table that too,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, so I need a motion to table it then.
I'll make the motion to table.
Okay, I need a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay,
Thursday.
all are tabled until we
That's
can
it.
talk to whoever did the bills,
Yeah.
find out what's going on. Okay. Our next item will be discussion of possible action on a professional conference, vehicle request, and use of district property. Does anybody have any problems with those or any comments?
No, I'd just like to comment that, no question, I'd just like to comment that I'm glad that these are coming before our eyes before they happen. When it wasn't like that early on in my tenure, but I appreciate it.
I would like to add one to the professional conferences. I know there is a superintendent training this week, and I see that no one is here for it. Maybe we could send Mr. James.
Well, would he be able to attend?
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
I mean, has he already got,
No, but it wouldn't be a problem registering.
Are you adding something to the agenda right now?
Yes.
Make a
to the
motion
conference,
to
yeah.
add whatever it is you're adding, just to clarify it.
Okay, I make a motion to add to the professional conferences for Mr. James, our newly hired superintendent, to attend the superintendent training this week.
Okay, I've got a second. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, now we need the discussion of possible action on professional conferences, vehicle requests, and use of district property. Have a motion on that.
Does all the teams have to put in for a vehicle request before they use it?
They should.
You're talking about sports activities. What you probably did earlier on in the year is they have a bus request and a schedule tacked onto that. So that's been sent to Mr. Cassidy as well as probably Glema. And that's, you approved the whole thing at one time.
Okay, should I give you the middle school's baseball team schedule?
Yes, she
Yeah, I've got
they
middle
did them
school
all.
baseball.
I think she's already got it.
Oh, you have the middle school baseball? Are you Glema? Do you need this, Mr. Cassidy? Do you need one?
I've got it, if
Oh,
it's been
okay.
submitted.
Okay.
I do have one thing I would like to bring to the board's attention, but I don't know what the policy is on it, but I know in most circumstances, when you have teams traveling out of state, the board has to approve that. And I know the baseball team is getting ready to travel to Florida for a week.
Florida.
North Carolina. I'm sorry, Myrtle Beach.
Baseball's wanting to go to Myrtle Beach during spring break.
So they'll be traveling during spring break. So when I brought up the issue about this trip, on the approval of it, it was said that this was approved in the fall prior to this trip being scheduled. And I just wanted to make sure the board was aware of that trip, and as the Sergeant Carroll alluded to, he also has a trip request into Gatlinburg for cadet training. I just think it's good business practice to let the board know when you have teams that are traveling out of state. I'm just familiar with that, learning the process myself, but I'm familiar that other districts, I think there was like a standing order that the board had to be aware if teams are traveling, or anybody's traveling out of state on a school bus.
Right.
Yes, so we would like to know ahead of time, really.
That's too that's coming right now, and when I questioned the baseball trip a few weeks ago, in discussion with the coach and athletic director, they said that was approved prior in the fall of the year, last year by the board.
I believe it was.
And then the bus request has been signed for the Gatlinburg trip by Dr. Laney, the sponsor, myself, and JD, but I just think, to know that these kids are traveling out of state, I think it's something that.
Was that approved by us, the Gatlinburg trip? I mean, we can approve it. They're paying for their own bus and, for their own fuel and the drivers, right? Okay. Do we need to approve the Gatlinburg?
Motion to go back and see if you did, are you sure you didn't approve it?
No, I'm not sure we
I don't.
didn't, but I'm pretty sure we approved the
Is that,
baseball.
when is that coming up a little bit in
I
the
don't know,
future?
when is that coming up? Spring break?
Spring break is the baseball trip.
And
And the Gatlinburg trip, Glenn, is what? Sometime next month also,
Yeah.
April.
It's middle of the year.
can we approve
I'd
that?
get we need to look at the minutes and see if it's already been approved, and then if not,
Add
add
it
it
to.
to your special meeting.
On Thursday, right, okay.
Just so you don't duplicate of action.
What rose the question on the baseball trip is whether or not they could drive vans or not.
No.
And I basically said, either look at charter bus or look at stand on school bus.
Bus, yeah.
And so a little bit more discussion has been held, but still yet, I think they need to stay on a school bus. That's just,
I
two
agree.
vans driven by coaches is a little bit,
I agree.
so
I agree.
that's why I wanted to bring it up.
I agree.
Okay, so we will do something about that on Thursday, okay? But now I need a motion on the professional conferences and the vehicle request and use of district property that was in our minutes.
And Larry James's.
Larry James's trip,
You want to do
okay,
that?
Mr. James's trip.
I'll
I
give you
need a motion, yes.
I'll make a motion. Make a
Okay,
motion.
I need a
I
second.
think we already did it, didn't we?
I'll second.
No, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, our next item is superintendent matters, report on, do you have anything on that?
Just what, you all have in your, you all have this in your packet, I have this in front of me, listen,
Yes.
yeah, you all have it, okay.
What is it, Mr. Superintendent?
It's, should be the last item in your packet or your folder, well, your packet, I guess. You all have it. Says superintendent matters at the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a new hire.
Oh,
No, that's the one that's already, okay. And that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, our next item is discussion of possible action on hiring a school, no, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Discussion of possible action on creating a school culture position at Shelland Park High School. Any comments on that?
I'll make a motion that, which has been discussed before, of course, we abolished it before, but, it's, funded by Title I, is that correct? So, if there's anything, sports helping kids, whatever we can do, and it's not costing us, so. I don't see a problem with it myself, but.
One thing about it, with this position, I went back and was checking on this and everything. And it said, as long as the school/board had the money, to fund the program, he could stay.
I'd like to add to,
Well, as long, what did you say, as long as the school slash
School
board?
slash board, the school or the board had the money to fund the program, it would stay. And it was created by Site Base, not the board?
yes, it was created, no.
Yeah.
Well, but we gave,
Because they were
I think the
under
board
the,
gave you okay.
Yeah, we gave them okay,
But
but I
in
mean,
PLA status, they had that SIG funding that
Right.
started it. And once our SIG funding dried up, then we started paying for it out of Title I, which is not board money, not local money, it's federal money. And I still have a pretty good pot of money left in that, that'll carry over to next year.
So will that expire, Dr. Loney, eventually in terms of it? I mean, is there an ending point,
Not as long as we-
expiration date to it or expiration point?
not as long as we get Title I funds, and we're a Title I district. High school gets quite a bit of funds. We fund at least 5 positions at the high school.
Are we
through
gonna
Title I.
lose any Title I funding this year? Are there gonna be any cuts, any slashes? I mean,
Just because of drop in population. But it's,
okay, due to enrollment, right, decline?
but we have plenty of funding to continue what we're funding out of Title I, plus this position. There is money to do that.
I would like to add that I would like to add to the, to administrator papers. And maybe,
I would assume you would set that job description because you're creating that position. So you can tie anything to it you want to.
okay, let's add that to our, if it passes.
okay, anybody else have any comments on it? I have a motion on the floor to accept. Do I have a second? I'll second. And a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
This is a job that was done away with earlier,
Done away with last year.
I thought. And I see no need to go back into it at this time. People say, well, it's not going to cost the board anything, we got the money to do it. Well, the money to do things goes for other things besides administrative type positions. And how many, I would like to ask the board, especially those who voted yes, exactly how many administrators does the high school have at this present time?
2? Is it 2?
I would say 2, unless you count your 2 guidance counselors. We have 2 guidance counselors and a principal and assistant.
You have a principal, an assistant, and you have a, then this one would be a third. Yeah. Now, and I don't believe, I would almost bet my house against a donut that the Kentucky Department of Education would send a red flag when you have 3 administrators to a school that has 500 and some students. And
How many students do you have, Dr. Lane?
I have 25,
okay.
fluctuates every day, roughly about 525.
So my vote stands as a no,
Yeah.
because of that reason.
Yeah, I'm with Mr. McCoy. We abolished this back in, well, some time ago. And I'm not for creating jobs unless they're,
So is this considered to be an administrative position? Is that how
Of course it is.
yeah, it is.
okay.
I would like to see some kind of criteria set forth any time that we create a job.
Well, we're going to set that. We're
In
going to
other
set-
words, you show us why the job's needed before we create it. Because that abolishing, I mean, you know, here's the thing about it, we're recreating a job that we abolished.
I'm not.
Well, I know I'm not either, I'm not voting for
I would
it.
say this, I was not for abolishing at the beginning.
I know you weren't, Roger.
So,
I know you weren't.
Is our vote 3-2?
3-2,
Yay.
yes, the motion passed.
Votes 3-2.
so it's 3-2?
Carry on.
Okay. Our next item is discussion and possible action on hiring a school psychologist with grant funding.
Yes, wanted to seek the permission, actually, not to necessarily hire right now, just wanted to be able to advertise the position on the KEPS website. So, of course, I know there's a hiring freeze on right now, and what this would allow me to do is to attract candidates. This is a part of our school climate transformation grant, and we had hired one psychologist last year. The plan was always to hire two.
Right.
To avoid getting into a situation where we would be doing tenure, we staggered it. So I would like to go ahead and advertise now, would hire at a later date, but this way, because I anticipate where we live, likely I will get somebody who's coming straight out of school. And so those people right now are going on the internships and they're looking. And if I can get in a little early before some of the other, this Central Kentucky districts do, we'll get better chance of getting candidates. So if I can go ahead and get that, if the board would give me permission to do that, or give Jay permission to post on KEPS.
I'd recommend you change the word from hiring to advertising.
And it would, and the hiring would be, like I said, a later date.
Yeah.
And this is paid for with grant funding.
It is, yeah, there's no
Is it
school
across the
funding.
board?
I have a question.
Yeah, no district, local funds, yes,
I
sir.
have a question, sir.
Sure.
This Peeves is paid for out of the Peeves grant?
It would be, yes.
Okay, how much money does it cost the board for Peeves? Did we actually have, I was told, and please tell me it's a lie or
Okay.
a mistake, you don't have to use that word, only Donald Trump uses that word nowadays. But did the board have a matching fund of $500,000 for the Peeves?
No, they did not. So what they asked, what the federal government asked for is to say, okay, they wanted you to scale up things that you were already doing. So if you had a great process you were doing in the school, they wanted you take that and scale it up. They were going to give you funds, which means, they make it better. So what we were doing with what the school was doing with the SIG grant, high school, we basically said, okay, we're going to start doing some of those things at the middle school. That was our scale up to try to help. And so we counted all those things that the school was already doing. For example, like the RTI coordinator position that Mr. Baldridge was doing with the SIG grant, we counted that as in kind. So that's where, if there is what looks like district funds are going towards it, it was things that we were already doing anyway, if that makes sense.
Does it mean that those positions, those in-kind contributions from the district, or those that you counted as in-kind, would have to be kept up by the Board of Education? Or it would hurt the grant?
It could potentially, if they, let's say if they decided to do away with something that was being provided, and then we would have to, I would have to go to my federal program officer and ask them, here's what's happening, what do I need to do on my end, to keep us in compliance with the grant.
So there's no, you don't see that as these in-kind contributions as money given by the Martin County School District to support the Peeves grant?
In the sense that it's not, if the grant wasn't here, that those monies would be going out anyway. So they were already being spent.
So there's no extra positions that have been created by the school board?
No. The only things that have been
Except
created.
like one tonight?
Yeah, well, but the only ones that are coming out are the two coaches at the high school, the current school psychologist that is working at the middle school in Warfield Elementary, and then this school psychologist. But again, the way that the grant was structured, it was done this way.
That's all grant money?
That's all
coaches
grant
and
money.
everything?
Yeah, that's the only money, school money, that's going to positions that weren't already there.
This potential, when you advertise and a hiring process is done, say it is, what capacity does that person, he or she, have in the schools, and what school or what district or whereabouts in the district?
My vision is to put that person at the high school and probably Inez Elementary. The goal with the program, and as a school psychologist, which is my professional background, I was trained coming out of school in counseling and working with teachers on kids actually in the classroom doing crisis intervention. But the way that a lot of times school psychologists are used is kind of like a test jockey. We just do IQ testing, achievement testing, and for special education. So there's a lot of services there that the school doesn't get to take advantage of because, like, I was one psychologist for, at the time, 6 schools. And the hope there is by adding this second psychologist, my national association recommends a 1 to 700 ratio of students to psychologists. So that would bring us to the 1 to 700 with an additional psychologist. And so I anticipate that with just doing the high school, they'd be able to do more counseling, crisis intervention, consultation, working with teachers when kids have difficulties in the classroom to make sure that they stay successful. In addition, they will also do some assessment, but because they only have 2 schools, their caseload would be much less, freeing them up for these other duties.
Is bullying a section of your grant that that the Peebles grant is looking at? People?
We do at the middle school and at the high school. We do social skills lessons, so they have a whole section on teasing and harassment and bullying. We also look at they have a committee now formed at both schools that looks at the discipline data to see where the discipline occurrences are happening, where the what types of, if bullying seems to be an issue, that may be something that they would come in and be involved with. So yeah, definitely it's something we are.
So is there a committee at the middle school also?
Mm-hmm. They meet monthly and they review, like I said, the data on, for example, she was just talking, what's your name? Connie was talking to me today about one of the things at the middle school we've noticed is that 40% of their 40% of their discipline referrals come from the bus. So we kind of were like, okay, what can we do to kind of address that? So we've hopefully done some things with working with Dr. Laney, keeping the kids out of the middle school, out of the high school. Because what was happening was the kids were coming into the high school and they were kind of getting, I guess, not wanting to come out and get on the bus, waiting for their friends, and so it was kind of creating a chaotic situation. So we've controlled that situation. So those kinds of activities, that's how we get involved. And the rewards that they do. Go ahead and Connie, you tell.
It was my first meeting that I went to, and the rewards, these bucks that they give them if they can purchase things at the school for their behavior on the bus.
The bus drivers get those.
They give them out once a week. And the drop in the disciplinary sheets was, I don't remember the numbers, but it was quite a bit.
I'm glad it's happening on the bus, that it's working.
Right.
Something's working on the bus.
Yes.
I'm very concerned about the bullying at our schools, and I know that I do not want Martin County School District to, to get that close to CNN. Mm-hmm. And are you aware of a nationwide program where there's a call-in number that the district itself takes part in, and I don't know exactly what the cost is, but they're meeting in Pikeville, I think, in October. Some of you may have gone to one of the vendors at the School Board Association meeting and talked with the guys at the booth, and I'm collecting some information. Are you aware of those people?
No, I'm not.
It's
so they was like a tip line or something?
It's like a tip line, and it's.
I thought there was a couple where there's no charge. I forget what's.
I don't know if this is a charge or not, but anyway,
if you send me something, let me know.
Okay, look, I am so concerned about bullying in our schools, in all schools, mm-hmm. that I will go out. I'm going to personally find these people and call them and get the information, which I will give to our superintendent. I'll give to the next superintendent, and I'll give to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing? Also in this meeting, I was really impressed that they are focusing on the support for the bus driver. The bus driver's principal supporting the disciplinary actions. That seems to be following through, and they've come up with different approaches to aid the bus driver.
Well, bless their heart.
Yes.
That's something needed.
Right.
Thank you.
Anything else?
How do we,
Just the motion and
got our attorney,
Post and try.
I'd recommend you do the motion to amend it first. You have
to amend it.
you got a motion, just to replace the word hire for advertising.
To advertising, okay.
I'll make a motion to amend the post,
Okay,
to
to,
advertising.
okay. I have a motion to amend it to advertising instead of hiring, and I need a second.
I'll say.
Okay.
Have a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and please let the record show that my vote for aye was because that the PEVIS grant doesn't cost the district any money. Thank you.
Okay. That's all we need, okay. Next is gonna be discussion and possible action on funding material for installing a volleyball court at Eden Elementary.
Okay. You want to talk, Roger, or you want me to talk? We'll both talk.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Eden has been many years without a volleyball net system. Inez Elementary has one, Warfield Elementary has one. They've been going to Warfield to play their games, how many, 5, 6 years? Always put off. It's time to get them this. I've spoke with Larry Martin, who said he would come and drill the holes mid-April. He said once we get the equipment to call him and he'll give us a definite date for $850. And then I think Roger has some quotes on some nets and things, and so do I, but
The first one I contacted was Volleyball USA. I was just looking at, of course, I don't know if they have any outlets close to Washington. Is that where it's coming from?
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Portland, Oregon. We could go up there and check it out, Roger.
pick it up.
That's the first one that came to my attention as far as, and of course, we want, I know we don't have high school kids practicing, but we want the strength that nothing's going to happen as far as, we don't need any accidents, so.
And it's
We
something
want,
to
we
keep.
want top grade,
Yeah.
top grade, you don't want to just go with something like that.
Well, okay, is the floor down there at the, elementary, JD, that, where they've had some rain damage and stuff, is it all right, the court itself?
The actual court looks, yeah, but it's on the side or toward the bleachers, it's looking
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not-
rough.
Yeah.
It's got in there pretty good.
There's about a 10 by 10 foot section down there,
It's not close to
which we,
No, it wouldn't be close.
this was all supposed to be included in that project, roofing project, which, again, our architects seem to be dragging their feet, and hopefully we'll get that accomplished soon. The canopy and the whole ball of wax was, it's supposed to be all done together. And, of course, I think we need that floor fixed. I don't know if people read KSPA, but I saw one little girl, a floor similar to, which I don't want to alarm anybody, and of course, I'm sure ours is not as bad. That one particular corner down there, which Mr. Hall can probably tell you, it's kind of hooved up. I don't know how it splinters, but I know one kid fell at one particular school and impaled the splinter, so we certainly don't want, we need to make sure we get that repaired as soon as possible, whether it be that kind of shape. But it's not the best shape. When water has leaked on it since 2006, you can imagine.
Do you have a quote?
We need to,
You have a quote somewhere?
yeah, there's.
We got this quote from, you might be able to find, I don't know if you could find it closer. I think
I
it's,
think that,
Delivery.
I had one a little bit cheaper than that. plus
delivery
the-
date is 10 days on this one. You might be able to get one,
He said when we actually had the equipment in hand, to call him back. I have his number here, and he would actually set a date then, but it would be better for him if he could come mid-April. I was hoping it'd be like in the next 2 weeks, but he said sometimes these companies will say so many days, and it takes you a while to get it. But we can toss it,
this one here said they deliver 10 business days, so,
I had no problem with that,
The kids
Right.
need to be safe.
yes. Well, and they need their volleyball, and it's
Yes.
not just for the volleyball team, the PE teacher.
And we were
needs
actually
it.
looking at the maintenance men doing that. They think they can do it.
yeah. Which the guy, this guy here,
Fix that.
which I talked to, Mason
Oh, really? Okay.
Bochner, he said that all you need is a core drill, and,
We just buy the drill.
all we need to do is get it, and make sure we got top grade stuff.
Okay,
So we'll need a motion.
I make a motion to buy it.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
What is the motion?
Yeah, what is the motion?
Okay, is the motion
To get the volleyball equipment
Purchase,
put it
Install the volleyball, yeah, the nets and everything.
at Eden
material
Elementary.
for the
Eden
volleyball?
Elementary, and it's less than $1,000.
No,
No, it's about 2,000.
it's going.
Wait, what do that's what I was wondering. I didn't I'll get my question out now. I'm for Eden having a volleyball court, man, and the very best.
Right.
I wonder what all the Pack boys down at Buffalo Horn would have done if they'd had one back at Gratiot. Jerry. But I want to ask, are we getting other quotes from other companies, or do we just have to take this one quote?
No, we can get other quotes, we can get a couple
yeah,
of quotes.
that's just the
but-
first, yeah.
Okay,
That's what
okay.
I said, this one, you might, with the shipping, you might be able to get one closer, the shipping might be that.
I have one, but it's
I don't know,
actually a
Mr.
little
Hall,
bit more.
Uprights.
Sir?
Portable uprights for the now high school, at the middle school.
Yeah.
Are they not appropriate?
No, ask Mr. Hall about the portable uprights.
Well, now,
Ask Mr. Hall about the
I
portable.
used them for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, no,
It's not, it doesn't meet regulations.
they had to stand on them, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, they do.
They had purchased the new net and we had to.
I mean, you're talking about competition, yeah, for PE, yeah, that kind of stuff, but this is competition nets and
Yeah.
poles and
What,
the
they
sleeves you
deserve
gotta
it.
have.
Yeah, they deserve it. I have a quote, but mine's a little bit more than, Mr. Harless's. If I can see it, well, mine's about 2,500. How much is yours?
Well, counting the shipping here, I guess, of course, it's 23, but shipping adds to about 26 there, I think, so.
My shipping was extra too.
Well, I'll make a motion.
$200.
This is for discussion of possible action on funding material. We could make a motion to have them bring in the quotes, to go ahead and get quotes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she said, well, she got a game and,
Yeah, the games are coming up very quickly.
yeah.
So,
I made a motion to purchase he seconded it.
I second.
all in
You have a
favor, say aye.
motion
So
to-
I said aye.
A motion to
Purchase
purchase, but we're gonna look,
the needed volleyball.
okay.
Well, then the motion
Okay, that would
should
be
be
the other.
to take bids.
Take bids, purchase,
Should be.
yeah.
Come back the next time and
Okay, well, I don't think we have to look at the bids because it's under $10,000. I think we
Right.
should just let Mr. Cassidy deal with it and, because it's under $10,000.
Yeah, anything under $10,000, we don't need a bid.
And it'd be anywhere between.
then there's a lot of things on this,
$3,000.
treasurer's orders that I'd like for you to look at, Mr. Cassidy.
Me too.
Not bad either.
And to my knowledge, it's the only gym we have in the county that doesn't have the whole strip, correct? That's the only one I know of that doesn't have
It
it.
is.
So do we know who did the one, that's the middle school?
I do.
Or is this
This is the same, this guy was the guy that drilled the holes, same company.
what company was that?
Oh, shoot. I have to look. Trans.
According to this guy,
Email.
that if you got a good core drill, he says it should do that. Put the sleeves in.
So they think that they can install this stuff too?
That's what this guy told me, was that difficult. Get
Well,
sleeves in.
if we've got the motion to do it, then next time bring it back with the bids and everything, and we'll decide who's gonna do it.
That'd be a month.
Well, Mike can just.
Now, we can do
You
it.
don't have to bid it.
I know, but I mean,
Come my quotes.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be money that will come available when the roofing finally is done. You're gonna have some money to fix the floor and probably take this purchase out of it. Once that the
So you're gonna save
dust-
enough on the roof to do the volleyball thing?
I think there's adequate money,
Okay,
the
that
school
sounds good.
facilities money you got to even pay for this. It
But
doesn't
you're gonna-
matter.
but we're gonna do this
Approving
now.
to use this money to do
But,
it.
but we're going to do this
And
now,
it would
right?
probably be in the same fund, because it's construction.
Right. On that one floor, you just go back and pay for it. Probably call down there and tell them what we're gonna do. Let them go ahead and okay that tomorrow.
So we can, all right, what was the motion?
I don't really know.
We'll get that, I wanna get that floor repaired as soon as possible.
Well, I know what I said, but I
Motion
don't know.
was to install a volleyball court.
Yeah, and to let Mike,
I vote to do it.
Yeah.
to let Mike
We've
go
got
ahead and
to-
do it.
Yeah, we
Well, I think we
already
need to prepare
voted
the
to do it.
floors and
Okay.
also buy the equipment.
Right, well, that's to install some of the
Yeah.
holes.
So Mike will take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just a little update on that. I attended the roof conference down there last Wednesday with the roofers. And
Okay.
your roof is gone from, and this project had about 225,000.
Okay.
And the roof and the canopy, the estimate that was given out to contractors was 175,000. So it's funny how things have come around
Right.
on that metal roof. So it's about 50 grand that's earmarked to fix the floor and this thing too,
Well, we
probably.
can go ahead and take it out now, can't we? 'Cause they need
We'll
their
just
bond
call
on it now.
the girl at
Okay.
Lisa,
Okay,
she's acting
Okay.
director down there now.
okay.
So anybody have any problem with that?
No, I ain't no problem.
Nikki,
With what?
with going ahead and purchasing the material with the money he saved
Yeah,
us?
let Mike do it.
Let Mike take
With
care
Mike
of it.
looking
I'm not
at,
saying
Yes.
that.
at quotes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Very good.
I love the Wildcats.
Okay.
I wear my sweatshirt, wear it to bed, don't I, honey?
There was a motion to approve the.
Yes, there was
Thank
a-
you.
Second, there was
Yes.
a
So much.
Yes.
Would you
It was
please
unanimous.
tell your teachers?
Okay. Our next item under new business, Paul Baker updates on RTI at Sheldon Park High School, Dr. Lonnie Lane. You have to go first. Okay.
Well, I wanted to first ask, I know I had mentioned at a previous meeting, I think it was the 29th, February 29th meeting, that we could revisit the MOA with KVC. I know that there was some confusion, I think, before about what we were trying to do, and so I was asking the board to reconsider entering into that MOA. I have with me tonight Ms. Gloria Kilgore, who's from KVC. She has some information, if you want to hand it out to them. You may have already received this, but just to kind of, I was talking to Gloria here, and just to kind of let you guys know that some of the concern about was around, that when we, with comp care, how would this work with our kids? And so we're not looking to do any kind of competition, just to give you kind of an idea right now. By my numbers, we have 5 schools, and Mount Comp has committed to having 5 therapists. Right now, they only have currently 2 employed full-time, and they have 1 that's on half-time. It's going to be going on maternity leave at the middle school. So she's only working 2 days a week, and then we have 1 that's at full-time at the high school, and we have 1 that's right now currently split into 3 elementaries. So, each one of these schools probably has anywhere from 30 to 50 cases. So, I mean, 1 person for that many kids is, they're just doing damage control at best. So, what we would like to do is let them do school-based services. Since we've met, they have gotten MOAs in Letcher County and Pike County. And if you all have questions, and the reason I'm bringing this to you all is because I don't want to see the middle school be in a situation. I know that their therapist is getting ready to go on leave. And I don't want them to be in a situation that the high school was in. Dr. Laney can attest, we went for over a year almost without a therapist. I think some of the things they can do are really kind of going to be good for our kids. For example, they can do telemedicine. You want to tell them a little bit what that is, how that works?
Sure. KVC, let me start with a little history. Primarily, KVC started out with the DCBS offices. And we had programs such as diversion and FPP where we went in and cleaned up homes, and then diversion was keeping kids in homes instead of being removed from homes. However, we have realized that the community, not everybody gets served by DCBS. So we wanted to come in and see how we could better serve the kids in our areas. I'm a Pike County girl, and we just this past Thursday got an MOA signed with them. We have been in Letcher County since November, so we're serving all of the Letcher County schools. However, what we want to do is not necessarily come in and take on a lot of kids at one time, because what we're trying to do is find out how we can better serve in a wraparound model kids in all of our areas. We work in Letcher County, Perry County, Pike County, Floyd County, McGoffin County, and Knott County, and Martin County at this time. We have kids that we are currently serving in Martin County. All of our programs are primarily in-home programs. However, that being said, the way we work is they're in-home programs, that way we can work with the family. However, our kids are in school how many days out of the year? Where are a lot of their problems? At school. So when these school things happen and you don't have caregivers that come in and take their part in the problem, this allows us to be able to work in a wraparound area to where we can bring everybody together in one agenda for one child. And that's,
Go ahead.
yeah, and by doing that, we offer case management services. We have case managers. We have a child psychologist in Lexington, his name is Dr. Mark Cruiser, that we can offer. We have, our Prestonsburg is our main office, where we have telemed, like I was talking about. The first visit for that psychiatrist is a trip to Lexington. However, we provide transportation for that visit. The clinician that's working with that client has to be available for that first visit in order to give pertinent information. So we have a lot of services that we can offer, and the way we want to offer it is to better the communication between everyone and the environment for the kids in our schools and our homes and our communities.
So you're talking about just enhancing what we've got.
Right,
Pretty
and
much.
one of you say the PBIS, that really the overarching is the school climate, because it's PBIS and what the feds call MTSS, which is multi-tiered services and supports, which is like wrap around what she's actually talking about. So what we'll be able to do with the grant, the school climate grant, is we've got our coaches at the school, and one of their jobs is to have contacts with people like Gloria or their therapist, the comp care therapist, so that there's somebody that knows who's talking to these kids and communicating that with people, so that we can make sure kids are, getting the best services they can, and that everybody's on the same page, and that we're working towards making the kids be successful.
So there's no overlapping or interference between your program and Comp Care?
No, we're completely separate programs.
Yeah.
I think they even work on the FAIR team together there.
We do.
So
We
they
work
are
on
in
the fair teams
communication.
together.
And it's the PIVAS umbrella that your program is under, will be under.
Yeah, they would, so like, the way I see it
Not now.
working, Mickey, is you've got the coach who's kind of like the hub of the spoke, and they're gonna be, doing the referral for an outside agency. So, in order, and because I had talked to other school districts, because I was concerned, if you're, Dr. Laney, who do you send the kid to? Do you send them to Comp Care? Do you send them to KVC? You don't want to really be, I don't want them to be in that situation. So
Right.
the way I kind of envision it, because that the therapist from the middle school is leaving, is I kind of see that KVC taking on the role at the middle school, because I think the high school therapist is doing a great job, and we're very pleased with what's going on there. So we'll kind of keep that on that end, and that kind of keeps things clean and keeps the schools not being in a situation. It doesn't mean that kids that are in Comp Care can't still be serviced. It means as a referral source. I'm saying, like, when because I just had our coach from the middle school had a kid that was in crisis and needed to make a referral, and she asked me, well, what are we, what's our option? Because she knew that the therapist is leaving, and so, I see her being able to have that, not having to decide. She's going to already had that decision made, if that makes sense. And so this would be only from now until the end of the school year, and we can reevaluate in the school year.
Should that not be up to the parents as to who they would see though,
Well-
or be with them, or?
There is a freedom of choice, yes, there is. If there's a child that needs services and a parent doesn't want services with KVC, we're more than welcome.
How would they be able to tell you that though? What would you do?
I can tell you how.
Okay.
One of the things that we do is their very first intervention with a family is with a parent. And that parent at that point is told, okay, this is what we do. However, you also have other options. We give people freedom of choice. If they choose to go elsewhere, we'll help make the referral. I've done it before. You know, so they're informed by us what their options are.
So you'll say you can either go with us or you can still choose
Yes.
comp, okay.
Yeah,
And-
it'll
and-
be,
yeah.
you know, we are the people that are here in the school right now. You know, you can get services with us, or we can help you to get services through Mountain Comp or through NECO or whoever it is that they've heard or whatever.
Yeah, I do know how that works with my daughter. My daughter is a therapist at NECO.
Yeah.
And she actually has to do some KBC cases. I mean, she, you know, actually has been referred by the attorneys, the guardian ad litem, and judges actually have said, go to, you know, go to her. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's great if you have, well, like you said, a therapist that's gonna be leaving, to have somebody who can step into that place if the parent wants, if the parent is cool with that.
Right.
Well, and I think, you know, I mean, if the board agrees, I mean, like, what we would do is say, probably send out a letter letting all the parents know that you can still be seen by CommCare, but that this service is here as well, you know, so.
Maybe there could be some kind of a check mark or something saying if you would rather, I mean, would it be in the letter?
Yeah, I can do it
Well,
that way.
that would probably be one of our
That's
first steps.
something-
is-
Right,
yeah,
that's
we're
something
not
that
worried
we
about
can
that right
still,
now.
we
Yeah.
can work out once we've got an okay to do
She said
something.
this will be until the end of the school year.
Right, and then we will look at it and do a new.
Evaluate.
Yeah, reevaluate and see if we, you know, if we feel like we want to continue the next school year. And it'd just be like how CommCare is annual, yes, sir.
Yeah, I have one question there. In these other areas where your people are out, do they deal with bullying?
Yes, sir,
Oh,
on a daily basis.
Yes, ma'am. And
Yes, sir.
exactly what direction do you go with this? I know it would encompass the entire school, the principals and all, I guess.
It includes a lot of different factors because each child is its own individual and they have their own issues with bullying. It would depend on where the bullying's coming from as to who you would pull in for services at that time. However, bullying is bullying and it's not tolerated and no one enjoys bullying.
Right.
So we do work on that. If it's in the school setting, the school knows the minute I get a report or my people get a report
Good.
of a bullying situation. And then the ball starts rolling from there. Sometimes it gets bigger, sometimes it gets smaller. It's not pretty either way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the things that people here might recognize tonight, that it can't go on.
Do you
It can't
realize
go
that
on.
anymore, that the majority of the bullying situations that we're coming in contact with anymore are not outright, you know, smack somebody up the side of the head. It's cyber.
Yeah.
Most everything is cyber.
Yeah.
You know, that's what most of our children.
Belittling and embarrassing,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, thank you, that puts me at a lot of ease, ma'am.
Okay,
You're very welcome.
I'd like to ask you something.
Sure.
When you said you would, when no one else would be there for that child, what are you talking about? Like if they're pulled into the principal's office, or, I mean, when you said that you would be an advocate for the child?
Yeah, we advocate for our clients. I'm not sure what you're asking me, I'm sorry.
If the child was in trouble or something in school, would you be there with it if the parent couldn't be? Is that something?
That's what I kind of thought, maybe, yeah.
Okay, we could be, yes.
Yeah, if the
Yes.
parent.
Yes, we could be there, yeah. That would fall under, the job duties of a school-based therapist, you know, to be there when their child is in crisis. Or where there's any kind of, you know, we do a lot of behavior modification kind of stuff too. So, yeah, that would be a prime opportunity.
Like an
for-
expulsion hearing or something like that? I mean, I'm not saying.
Yes, we could be there for
I'm
that.
trying to get an idea.
We could be there for that.
Well, I'll make a motion, we accept it. I mean, it's just going to enhance what we already have. Is that correct, Mr. Baker?
I believe so.
Okay, I have a motion. I need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is our update.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Okay, updates on the RTI at Shell Park High School. Dr. Laney?
You requested that I bring you a report, and I tried to send you a little letter last Friday. I don't know if that got distributed to you or not. But here's actual numbers. The grades were printed today and distributed to the students. So you'll see a lot of seniors on here, and every class listed are classes that they are failing, or they might, some of them now are up to passing for the year, or they were previously failing. And so I have literally taken scissors and chopped the names off. That's a be a brief of confidentiality, but I want you to know this is an actual sheet of paper. You can tell that I've taken scissors and literally cut the names off. So anybody in green has made an improvement. Now, everybody in green doesn't have a 60. You'll notice some scores are still pretty low for some of them, but they have made improvements. So some is going to take a lot of time, and some are about to work their way out and may not need assistance in that. But now, we identified 39 seniors altogether. 19 of them are really close to passing. So basically all we've done is conference with them. You know, if you got a 58 or 59, you have plenty of time this 4th time weeks to get your grades up. So let's get our acting gear. But there are some of these kids that are really far behind, or far behind in multiple areas, and that's where the RTI teacher comes in. And not only does that person counsel with those kids, but is actually working with them and working with computer programs, trying to help this child.
In that
and working with
particular
the teacher.
subject.
Yes, in these particular subjects.
And they have 5 classes, correct?
Well, now some of these kids need every class they've got to graduate. So this person cannot pull this child out every single period, every day. Some of them are only maybe, let's see, I got it down there somewhere.
No, we said that the RTI person should have 5 classes. That's what we said that day. So he has 5 classes.
Yeah, and weightlifting. He's 7
That
days.
uses his
You get one
planning,
planning.
right? He uses weightlifting as planning, right?
He gets a planning, weightlifting, and 5 classes.
Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, that's not what we said. We said 5 classes where he could pull these people out, 1 planning, and then 1 to go into another room so somebody could have a planning. We may need to check but I'm sure that's what we said.
Okay, I may be able to read, but he's pulling the kids out 5 different periods. Like I said, some of these kids, he's actually pulling out 3 periods in the school day to work with them. So some of the kids, he's only pulling out 1, and sometimes he may pull a child out 1st period, and the next time he might pull that child out 3rd period. And we're trying to, because these children need their credits to graduate, so we can't just pull out of one particular period necessarily if that child also needs that credit to graduate. So we try to pull it out of electives. For some of these kids need all 7 classes to graduate. But we have a good plan in place.
That includes 5 classes and 1 for planning and 1 to go into another room so that person can have planning. That's what we told you that day.
But when that one person goes in, he takes kids with him to work on stuff. So
I don't understand.
when that one person goes into that room that you're talking about, so that one person is free,
Right.
not only does he stay with those kids, but other kids come in to work on the computer to get credits. So
So he has 2 free periods, 1 planning and 1 in that other room, correct? Or
I
no?
wouldn't call that a free period.
Planning's not free.
Well, no, but are there 7 class periods in a day?
Yes.
Okay. We agreed to this, to have 5 periods. 1, which makes 6 for planning, 1, which makes 7 to go in and relieve the other teacher. Is that what is being done?
Yeah. But when that teacher goes in that alternative classroom,
They're taking people too? So
They're
they're
taking
actually
people
teaching
too.
6 classes now? And just 1 planning? I don't know where the weightlifting came in. I'm not real sure where or how that came in.
Yeah, I
Well-
don't remember that.
we had a weightlifting class. We lost our weightlifting teacher. So those children were going to the PE class because there was no place to go. But now that we have a teacher, then I can take those people back to the class they're supposed to be in. Otherwise, that other teacher was doing like 2 classes simultaneously. It was not exactly fair to that teacher, but so we had one person kind of subbing there some, trying to help out.
About how many times, sir, have these individuals been pulled out? An average, say there's 39 of them here,
Yeah, so he's working really closely with 12.
okay?
And then there's 8 more that's gonna be pulled out soon. They've been identified, the worst cases.
Okay.
All of
And
them
then-
haven't been pulled out yet? How long have they been being pulled out? How long has this been going on, since February 8th, since the hiring?
Yeah, because we've had a lot of snow days and stuff, but we're trying to get intense intervention. And so we're trying to, like I said, this person not only pulls out kids in classes, but this person has also conference with kids and counsel with them and things.
All of them or just 12 of them?
He conferenced with 30 or 31.
Okay.
So, like I said,
Okay.
we got a big list. We got lots of underclassmen who need help
I
too.
thought you said 12. I was
Yeah, but now he's actually working, pulling out and working real closely, one-on-one with 12 kids. So,
These are all seniors, correct?
let's see, I think
So
he
you
does
got
have a
39
sophomore.
seniors? Okay.
There's 39 seniors that we're watching closely. There's a sophomore that he's working with right now, and I think there's 3 underclassmen that he's trying to also work with, because those kids are failing like 4 more courses, and they will be retained in the class 3 if we don't get some intervention. So, trying to be effective, you don't want to just throw 30 kids in a room and stick them on a computer and things.
No, we
that
said
won't
just
work.
a few at a time.
And that's what we're trying to do.
5 classes a day.
What bothers me in this whole thing is that, when Lisa, when our instructional supervisor, chief academic officer, or whatever, Lisa's job was, of course, she's on loan to the state now, as an education recovery specialist. She kept the board advised, because she went out to all the schools. I mean, you're just, principal at your school. She went to all the schools and tracked all this stuff and let us know how things were going, where we were at. And I have to wonder if, if it's bad there, as far as needing an RT, as far as needing a response to intervention instructor, how is it at the elementary schools? How is it at the middle school? I mean, I hate to come up at the end of the year, in our meeting with you, we found out that we have, 30? You said 30-some seniors
It was January.
who were at risk of not graduating. And this was in,
Yeah.
this
January.
was
It was
in
January when he
January.
came.
Yeah, and we've not
compared to
heard
last
any,
year, though.
we've not heard from anybody here in the central office who should tell the board that. I mean, we should know before it comes from you. I mean, it's so, I don't know what,
But were they aware of it? Was the central office aware of it?
they should be,
I would assume so.
they should be. I mean, do you have, does our chief academics officer go to the school and work with these folks like they used to? I mean, is that, I'm not trying to ask, well, yeah, I guess I am trying to ask a pointed question, because, I mean, before you had, Mr. Mayo and all the folks that were up there, y'all had a data board, y'all kept all this stuff tracked.
And Mr. Baldridge still helps us do a lot of that.
Yeah, but is there anybody at the central office that's doing that? Is there anybody at the central office that's visiting your school and keeping track of that stuff so that they can come back and let the board know? I mean, we're the one that has to designate the resources, and like right now.
And we have leadership meetings approximately every 2 weeks, and there's people from central office that comes and joins me, Ms. Williams from the ATC, and we look at our 30, 60, 90-day plan on notice reduction.
Okay, but that's not the central office.
Well, the central office folks, There's at least 2 that attend regularly.
Okay, well, we just need to, I mean, just finding out about it now is just kind of bad. I mean, we lost
I was
our,
trying to explain to people.
oh, I know you
had
are. Oh, I
to be.
know. And yeah,
I'm not lying, you can look at the numbers.
Oh, I know, I know.
They're really bad.
No, here's,
And
no, I'm not
things-
questioning, I'm not questioning you
The green is
because,
people ain't improving, so I'm so thankful they're improving, but you can still see some of the green is not at capacity.
yeah.
So we're gonna have to work hard this 9 weeks.
But all these people are being pulled out, correct?
Goodness, yeah.
At brass tacks, yes.
That's 12
See,
seniors.
I guess I don't understand that. If you have 5 class periods a day, you don't have a specific amount of kids coming into each class? How can you plan on that? I mean, how can you?
We're rotating it around. If a child needs all 7 classes, and I pull him out of 5th period at a time, he's gonna fail 5th period. I can't always pull him out of 5th
Right,
period.
right.
I'm gonna have to go get him out of 1st period every now and then, so he don't get behind any worse. Some of these kids are.
Okay, but
themselves
these kids are
difficult.
coming in there every day. I mean, I'm
Hey,
I'm
he's
not
got
saying
kids-
just in one particular class
Yeah,
period.
he's got kids he's pulling in.
Every
And we
day.
got 3 more that started today. So, yeah, and so, we got. I would say that
30-some kids all day long, right? 39? Oh, plus the 5 underclassmen?
well, there's 31 on this list right here. We've not started quite all 39. Some of these are, like I said, on a watch list. We conferenced with them and said, listen, if you don't get your grade up, we're gonna have to pull you. So some of these kids, we told them, you've got 2 more weeks. And if you fail to get your grade up within the next 2 weeks, we're gonna start pulling you out of certain classes, so you don't get any farther behind. And so, so they've been warned, and,
Well, we said that we would address it at the end of the school year.
Yes,
Let's just see how it rides out, because I mean,
So,
you know,
we've had,
if he.
we've had truly less than a month. We've had so many snow days. I don't know how many, I should have counted them up, how many snow days we've had since this person actually started working, and that interfered with things.
Yeah,
Right.
but if it's not worth, continuing.
And we had work piece testing, and so that took some seniors out, so he wasn't able to pull certain seniors on certain days because they had to go to ATC to take the work piece test. We test our kids to death. And this
Right.
month we're doing COSA testing, and so we have to pull kids wherever we can. There's lots of, high school is very complicated. There's lots of activities, things you want, and so we try to pull when we can.
I just want to make sure that y'all get the support from the central office like you're supposed to get.
I just
And
wanna
if
make sure
somebody
kids
at
are
the
being
central
pulled out and
office
being
let
looked
us
at.
know what's going on. So
I think they show that some of our kids, quite a few of them, are making progress. And there's some that still,
Are these the ones that were pulled out, or are these part of the ones that
Yes.
was warned?
That'd be fine.
their names are chopped off.
Okay, all right.
And your leadership meetings are on Mondays, aren't they, Dr.
Yes.
Lonnie? Every,
Pretty
bi-weekly?
much every other Monday.
Every other
The
Monday.
snow days kind of messed us up, but
Right.
it's pretty much every other Monday, so we have.
And I've sat in on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we developed our 30-60-90 plan. We look at what's working. Novice reduction has been a big talk for several months now. Because again, these are the kinds of kids that tend to score novice. And because a lot of them, if you look at a lot of these classes, they're required classes. It doesn't matter how many credits you have. If you're failing English 12, you're not going to graduate. Even if you have 26 other credits.
Right.
You have to have English 12 to graduate. Algebra 2 is a biggie for seniors. And you'll notice there's a lot of Algebra 2 on there. So, now some of the other classes aren't required classes, but they might need that credit to graduate, because everybody must have 24 credits to graduate. And then, like I said, you'll see some underclassmen on the last page. In particular, there's 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen who, if we can't, there's actually 3 of them, 7 sophomores, I think on your sheet. Maybe 5 sophomores. 5 sophomores and 2 freshmen, which are failing a significant number of classes, which could cause them to possibly be retained. So we want to target them as well. But, we can only, I didn't want to pull too many at one time to give this person time to work with kids one-on-one, and again, to encourage them. And of course, I got the PBI's coach talking to them, I've talked to them personally, the guidance counselors talked to them and things, trying to warn them. So this isn't a surprise. We started back in the fall telling people that some of them just think that they can wait until May and then all of a sudden magically graduate. And so I'm trying to show them that We got time now, but if we don't get a raise, it can't happen.
Well, it's not a surprise to them, but it is a surprise to the board. You know, I mean, it surprised us to find out we got that many kids failing. And
a lot of them are close. You see the one, I see one here with 87.7. You know, you're only off about 2%.
Is there notification to the parents about these kids failing and about?
Oh yeah, a lot of these have attendance issues, and we have, with Craig Grayson, we've got the, my mind goes blank this time out. The diversion, and what's that new program, the fire team. They have fire team meetings with the court systems and stuff. Some of these kids are, you know, on truancy and things.
I just want to be sure that the parents are notified about the severity of the situation.
I've had mommies come to my office crying and all kinds of things.
I know, but I just want to know that they are, because you know, I'm not saying that will solve the problem, but it's always good for everybody, just like the lady was talking today, and everybody's on base with the support from home, support from school, and yeah. Thank you.
Sir, a lot of these have gone down. I'm looking on the third.
That's the average.
No, yeah, so this is their third average grade, and so you have to average it in with the previous grades to come up with this average. So you'll have to compare this column here to this column here to see an improvement. So this person used to have 56, now they've already got to 63 in just a couple, 3 weeks of school. So that proves that child can do it.
Right,
It's a matter
but
of,
I'm looking with 88.
no, that's their current 9 weeks grade, yes. See, that child is made for the third 9 weeks, this child has improved tremendously. They didn't do nothing previously.
But we weren't working the third 9 weeks. This is the 9 weeks that we were working, right?
No, the third 9 weeks has been this person.
Okay.
We're getting ready to start the fourth.
Okay, okay. I didn't know because of the snow days and he was just hired last month.
Yeah, so he's not got, like I said, with all the snow days we've had, he's not got to work on it.
Right.
How many weeks exactly we've had.
She's all
But
right.
it's crack up snow days, and he's worked with them several days. And that's enough to make a difference. And then, of course, there's even more time as the weather improves and more work gets done. I'm confident these grades will shoot up. Like I said, that one kid in just 2 weeks' time, went from I see one of your names struck, went from a 55.5 over to 20.3. And that's a composite percentage points on the school year. That's a pretty significant jump.
Thank you so much. Anybody else have any questions for Dr. Laney?
no, we're good.
Okay. Okay. Golly, it's my turn. I was there probably in December, January, I can't remember. I gave you an MOA to look over. Did you look over it? Yes, I did. For, to do the Green Dot program at Shreveport Park High School. I've been in there all year.
Was it a pamphlet?
Huh?
I remember getting a pamphlet or something.
I'm sure I did. Copied my MOA.
Yeah, we couldn't discuss it that night because it was a special meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
But anyway, I would like to have a signature
Oh,
so that I can continue the program.
Okay,
And I need one from you and Dr. Laney both.
okay.
for what?
There's
The green dot, it's about
The Green Dot is a,
violence prevention.
right,
Yeah, violence, yeah.
right.
First of all, if you're gonna approve this, you need to make a motion to add it to the
Yes.
agenda. It's not on the
It's
agenda.
not on the agenda, so we need to.
I'll make a motion to add it to the agenda.
I had a note for under new business, but,
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That note didn't get through?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to add it to the
Okay.
agenda.
I'll second
Agree.
the
Second,
motion.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, yeah,
okay, okay.
I've been Green Dotting all day, so.
So I can sign anywhere here? Okay.
Just have, yeah.
And this is just for the end of the school year too. It expires at last school.
Do you want to make a motion to approve this or just a motion to amend?
And then I make a motion to approve.
Okay, that's what I said we needed.
I was getting ready to say, man,
Okay.
getting signing stuff and.
Well, we already have the Green Dot program in our school system.
It's been here
Right,
for
it's-
years.
yeah.
Yes, we already have it,
Right.
just a continuation of it, so
I-
we need a motion to.
I got it.
made the motion. Who seconded it?
I second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Just
Yay.
a question,
Yes,
violence is what you,
violence prevention.
violence prevention.
Yeah, they
How much of your program deals with bullying?
It encompasses all types of violence,
Yeah,
all types.
I mean, do you have that as a,
As a component of it, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Is that a very busy component in other schools, other districts? I'm sorry, go ahead, guys.
What you added to it, what, about date, you added to it this past year, dating, abuse, or whatever.
It encompasses all forms of interpersonal
I thought they were,
violence. Bullying, harassing, sexual violence, dating violence, teen violence, everything. Dr. Laney has just scheduled with me a bystander training, it's a 6-hour training. We will do with select children, I think I have 42 that is going to participate in that training. And what it is geared toward is the leaders in the school, like the popular kids in the school, because they're considered the leaders. And then, when they get on board, of course, they will have followers that will follow on in the program. And the ideal of the program is to get everybody on board. It is not only for those 42 that I have selected, or actually that the students have selected, I didn't select them. But, well, since it's the end of the school year, I will only do this one bystander training. But now next year, I plan to do it earlier in the year, like in September or October. And hopefully I'll have all the kids trained by then as a bystander, as an active bystander to prevent violence in the school.
yeah, you know, do you find your leadership in one socio-economical group usually?
This is my first full year of doing it,
Okay.
so I cannot really give you any
Well,
statistics
what
on
I'm
that.
asking, what I'm really asking is, I don't want to forget the people, there are leaders out there that aren't maybe popular,
Exactly.
but they have leadership qualities that the cheerleader basketball players will never have.
Right.
I don't know how you can address this, but you know, when you say that, like how leadership is determined, and you put leadership with popularity, it just kind of stabs me, because it's not always that way, you know.
Okay, let me finish. Let me explain the process.
Sure.
When I went in, I did an opinion poll, and I did it during lunch. I had a table set up in the lunchroom, and the kids, they elected to come up to me and fill out my survey. My survey had 3 questions on it. Who would be a good leader? Who do you respect? And 1, who is a class clown? And of course, what we did, when I done my polls, I probably had over 136, I think, 136 names. And the way I determined who the POLs, POLs, the popular leaders, were the ones who got the most votes. And I think I have 24 of those, and then the other kids that were not as popular, I have 16, 18 of those. So it's a combination. It's not only the popular kids. You won't only have the cheerleaders, basketball players, you will have a mixture of kids.
I was using that as an example because, I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
I taught school for 27 years, and I kind of know how the teenage mind works. And I also have recognized leadership in those people who were normally just in some crack in the wall, but they can come out anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I taught 14 years too, so I'm
I said, what
not,
did you do about the class clowns? Were they
were in there too.
Were they
They're gonna be in
considered-
that training too.
Were they considered for any leadership position? Huh?
Were they what?
Were they considered for any leadership position?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
As I said, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of how many votes they got. Now, the students, if they only got like one vote out of 100 and some, no, I didn't choose those this round. They might get it the next round. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Can I fax you a copy or bring a copy over? Okay.
There you go. Go.
Oh, okay.
Can I, the last, Gary, what you alluded to, you all received the email I sent to you on Friday, what you were kind of alluding to a little bit ago, Gary, about the, at the elementary level, about making sure that students were, RTI, kind of like we were talking about Dr. Laney a while ago. You all received my email from Friday, about what I had seen it. So it's just something that I wanted to make mention of, potentially down the road in the future, if you all wanted to look at, say for next school year, even looking at, depending on how the school performs, or any school for that matter.
Well, we always, since Lisa left, we're kind of in the dark about in that area.
Yeah.
Because she did advise us quite a bit, and which was important because we just recently regained our capacity to govern or to lead the school district again. And she always kept us aware of where we were at. I mean, at each school, how we were doing, what the kids were needing, and it's just.
The coaching, curriculum assessment instruction that we had, that position that we had.
Yeah.
That we paid the $15,000 toward last school year, and KDE paid the rest of it. That we didn't have that there this year, but.
Well, you're talking about the high school, yeah.
That the high school was the one we had at one of the elementaries, but if we can sustain our proficient status and.
Well, I'm talking about, we were never in direct contact with the people at, your education recovery specialists at school. But we at least had some kind of knowledge through Ms. Kirk.
It sounds like what you're asking, this is the second time you've asked it, who's in charge at the central office that will take on some of the that have taken on some of the duties that Miss Lisa
Kirk did.
had. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and report to us.
Well, we can't say names.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
We
want.
can't say.
Well, no, I'm not saying any names, I'm just saying
But here's
that
the thing about it.
it's not
Can
been
we have
provided.
this person come Thursday night and give us a report? It's a special meeting, but we can add it onto it
You can add anything you want on the agenda.
and have them
Put that-
come in and
Put
give
that
us.
on there.
And maybe have this RTI person come in and tell us what he's doing.
Well, the RTI
I'm good on
position,
the
we're gonna do
RTI.
at the end of the
Yeah.
year. I mean, we're
I'm
gonna,
good on the RTI.
Yes, I appreciate the report, but it would be good to have him come in and let us know what's going on.
Add both of
So
them to
do you
the
think
agenda.
maybe we can add both of those to the agenda?
Because Gary, what you had mentioned ERS a couple of times, education recovery staff, that's what that person we had at one of the elementary schools was last year. They were an ERS person.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying, we have somebody in central office that should do that, and we shouldn't ask for this person to come. They should report to us periodically, because I don't know.
Right.
I don't know unless we're told. So,
Okay.
anything else?
There's one more that was on new business, was not amended, so we're gonna have a motion for her to come and speak. So you wanna tell us something about her?
We have Miss Haley Pator here for the Peru trip.
Yes, hello.
So we need a,
I'm going to try to tell you about it. Madam Chair, Superintendent Goebel, fellow board members. First thing I want you to know, not asking for money, so breathe easier. Y'all look really tired. I'm going to try to hurry. When I get excited, I talk faster, so maybe it'll help this process along.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Goebel said, my name's Haley Patorit. I teach 9th grade English at Shelby Park High School. This is my first year teacher. It's been an interesting year. It's been exciting. I've learned a whole lot. Grew up in West Virginia, and
We're about.
Princeton. So Beckley area, kind of Bluefield area.
Ooh,
Yeah, so right
Tigers.
across the river.
The Tigers.
The Tigers, yeah, exactly, the Princeton Tigers. And I guess something I was concerned about, I was talking with my friend Lauren and Dr. Laney, and I never wanted to come to Martin County and just think I knew everyone and knew the situation here. I really had to meet the kids, meet my students, to get a good appreciation of just what they needed, what they wanted. So what you're looking at is the very, very beginning stages of planning a service trip next summer that would take a select group of students to either Peru or Guatemala, pending, I want to talk with the parents. I want them to have a say in where their child is going to go. I want the kids to have a say in where the community in which they want to serve. So I guess just to start out, the proposal would be Ms. McLean, potentially another couple of faculty members at the high school, and Laura Crum. We're going to pilot a cross-cultural service club, and that's a mouthful. But basically the idea here is that we would pick 10 students. You probably saw some of these students, right? They're in everything. They're in FCCLA, they're in JROTC, they're in athletics, they're in everything. But I felt like talking with some of my students, they were missing kind of a travel. They were missing that outside look at the world potentially in some ways. And I think back to my high school experience, and I feel like I see myself in these students. I was really lucky to get to serve in McDowell County, West Virginia. We went to Idaho, we went to Iowa. I was kind of volunteering anywhere I could at this age. So when my kids ask me about some of my experiences that I've had, and they say, Ms. McCourt, can you ever go on a trip like this? I really just started thinking about how to make that happen, I guess. So this was kind of born out of that desire, out of talking with my students. I had approximately 40 students sign up just for interest in a trip like this. I went with one tour group originally, but that financially it just wasn't going to happen. It was just even more than this group. The group we're looking at now, Cross Cultural Solutions, as you flip through, you'll see who they are. It's a nonprofit organization focused on sustainable solutions in a lot of different communities around the world. I had a chance to serve with them in Tanzania 2 summers ago. I taught English for 4 weeks. So I like this organization. I like what they stand for. I think that it will be beneficial for kids to learn that if you want something to go right in this community, you have to be willing to invest in it. So invest here, which, as you can see, each of these students would be required to log 75 community service hours in this community prior to departure for the service trip abroad. I think that idea is just a connection between here and global community. Like your community, you can see things that you want to fix or that you want to change or that you want to improve and work on here. And you can also see that broader in the whole world, I guess. You also see safety information about cross-cultural solutions. I am in contact with their director of high school engagement. He has been so helpful in terms of he could give you basically any information you want to know. I know that safety would obviously be your concern as well as parents, the concern of the parents. But I guess you all are kind of like the first step. Meeting with the parents, I think, is the most important because at the end of the day, they have to decide if they're going to let their kids go, right? So you all can tell me, yeah, go ahead and try, and parents might just for whatever reason think that fundraising or for safety concerns or for whatever reason they're not buying into it, in which case it's a moot point. But I think for my students I want to try since they've voiced that this would be something that would look good on college applications, scholarship applications, resumes, you name it. Yeah, so that's a whole lot of talking. We're looking at fundraising every single penny of this because I don't want whether or not a student can financially afford this. I don't want that to be an issue. If my kid wants to go, if this kid wants to go and he meets all of these requirements, he's going to join Spanish Club, maintain 3.0 GPA, log 75 hours of community service, complete 2 group projects that they would share to Sheldon Clark students or potentially middle school students throughout the course of next year, and assist with all of these fundraising efforts. If they want to go, they want to do that, their parent says it's fine, come on, let's go. I don't know. I want your all's advice and your support and your encouragement, but again, not asking for money, just kind of asking for your approval so I could get the ball rolling, talk with parents, speak with the students.
No problem.
I think it would be wonderful.
Other than these qualifications, how would the 10 be picked? Because I think
Essays,
you're gonna have a lot of
Absolutely.
students that will surpass all these.
I think blind application process, I would not be judging the essays. I would probably have Dr. Laney and potentially different faculty members. I would have them assess the application, because if I'm taking them and I only teach freshmen, I wouldn't want, if there were 6 freshmen, because we have an outstanding freshman class, I would not want them to think that Ms. McCord just picked them because they were freshmen. She taught them. But it would probably be some kind of, I'm imagining an essay involving global citizenship and what that means, or sustainable volunteer work, which is what Cross-Cultural Solution does.
I think that, if I can continue, I think that travel is one thing that hangs up this culture of kids that we have here, that they need to be out. I used to sponsor trips to, I didn't sponsor them, but I was the overseer of trips that kids could go to New York City, and we'd see a couple of plays, we'd stay 3 or 4 nights, and we would fly up there and fly back. If I had 15 kids that, I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
Sorry, they wanted to go. You want to come? You could be the male chaperone I'm looking for. Looking for male.
If I had 15 that signed up to go, probably 9 or 10 of them had never flown.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself was a thing, was an experience. But to see these young'uns during a Broadway play, or to see these kids with the wide-eyed of Times Square or the Statue of Liberty, was just it was just a treat. It was like, if I could use an analogy, Mr. Harless, I guess it would be like winning or going to the state tournament, you know? If I could use a basketball analogy, it was just tremendous. So I'm for this. I might add that, you know, you'll find out who's going to be serious about this by, you know, they're going to have to pay what, $90 or $110 for a passport, and they're going to have to get that quick, because sometimes there is a problem in that.
Peru, there's only one vaccination that would be recommended. I've already kind of looked on the CDC.
Yeah.
Zika is not a thing in these countries that we would be going to. There's like a lot of boxes that I've already paranoid about everything.
See, I had to get, I got $300 worth of shots myself to go to Africa.
That's what I had to get when I went to Tanzania.
And, you know, it was tremendous how many shots and boosters you had to get before then. But, yeah, it's great.
And they would stay in different people's homes?
Okay, yeah, let me explain that, because I think that is a huge bonus of this program, this organization. We would be in what they consider a home base. So rather than traveling around the country, parents worry about transportation, just a bus, you know, a wreck or something simple like that, we would be in one house for the entirety of our trip. It is a compound essentially. It's surrounded by walls. It's gated, security guards, and not because it needs to be. Like, let me make that really clear, but because they know that they cater to Americans who may not have had any travel experience, or the kids that come in and their parents are really nervous. And I was going to Africa, and my mom thought I was never coming back. Like, they understand all of those things. I feel really confident about this group. I'm trying to make sure I tell you everything that I thought.
Also, it's not like each child would be in a different home?
No, ma'am. We would all be together. And
It says 4 to 6 in a room, same-sex room.
Same-sex room, bunk beds. I'm all about the chaperoning. I'd rather have as many chaperones as students, quite frankly, one-to-one. So like I said, this is the first time you're going to see my face. I hope parents will buy into this. I would welcome parents to come with us. And if that's the case, then I would absolutely have updates for you all regularly as you'd like them to be. Flexibility with like your financial situation. This company is really, they understand that we would, there's your passport. Yeah, you're ready to go. See?
You got your
chaperone. They're really flexible. They know that schools, especially schools who have to do all the fundraising, they know what that means. and they are patient and understanding, and we would have all of that figured out.
I
So,
think it sounds, I was supported, of course, we talk about, I had a basketball team at Show Clark back in '93, of course, they went to Australia and competed down there.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable time, so learned a lot, rode a lot of kangaroos.
And they came up here and they saw snow for the first time, the girls' basketball team
Yeah.
in Australia. I remember that.
traveling is the one thing that honestly made me more appreciative of my
I think
Appalachian
everybody's
roots.
noted the same,
I love that.
anywhere you go, it's a safety issue. If you go,
You could go to Boston,
I have to do without it.
Well,
it's
if
just
you
sad,
can't,
but
if you can't.
You can go to a Trump rally.
you could go to a Trump rally.
If you can't make it to Peru, you can go to Welch or
Yeah, I mean,
Keystone.
yeah. So, like I said, I don't have all the information, but if you all would have any questions, feel free to email me. I would like to meet with parents this week, especially if there's gonna be an additional application process that takes time. Haley Patorick. Halie Putorek. And then it's just that Martin.
I told her she has to get permission from the board before she can
Yeah.
pursue an
Yeah.
out-of-state trip, let alone out of country.
Literally out of state, different state, bigger state.
that may not pertain to out of the country.
Yes, we need to amend the agenda to
Okay.
Just
add
sounds, just
this.
sounds safe.
So, yeah.
What do we need?
So we need to amend the agenda.
Yes,
Yeah.
I moved to amend the agenda to
Add,
talk about possible student group trip.
Club, yeah, student
Yes.
ambassador, pilot program, whatever you wanna call it. That's a really formal way of saying we're gonna pick two students that are gonna kinda lead the way in this community.
okay, so I have a motion
Motion
added
made.
to there, and I'll second that, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Now.
Wait, now we gotta make
Wait, we need
Yeah.
another motion.
Oh, there's so much, okay. I'll say it again. I'm ready.
Give her permission to do that.
Okay.
Give her permission for the.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I've got a motion.
I'll second.
I have a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, so you got, thank you.
I talked to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Keep us informed.
I will, no, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now we have motion.
You ready? Yeah.
No, we don't.
No, he's there yet.
Gary, you talk too much tonight. We have other things.
Okay,
Well, let's
I got
see.
15 minutes of
Okay.
battery left, guys.
okay. The Martin County Middle School baseball team, I have a schedule here. We have 10 games away. I know that the high school baseball team gets their buses and their drivers paid for when they go away, and that's for their JV and their varsity. We have 10 away games. We'd like to know if they would like to know if we can do the same for them that we do for the high school. Because the high school gets the softball team and varsity and junior varsity.
Well,
And if the middle school can get the same.
this might be something that,
Need to add Thursday?
yeah, we'll add Thursday for this reason, you know, because it's all supposed to be done like at the beginning of the year, right? Correct? You know,
Yes. Well, I wasn't aware that, that
Well-
everyone else's was paid for. Was you all?
Well, I would say one
No,
of,
you talking about the district pays for it,
Yes,
not the school itself?
no.
yeah, see, I would,
I wasn't aware of
I was always
that.
saying the school is supposed to pay for their own.
Sheldon Park's, I believe, it's on one.
yeah.
Everybody's bill's been, had those paid for.
Well, the only other one there is the middle school, because the elementary doesn't go away.
Okay, but the
Doesn't
problem,
have out of school, out of county games.
but the problem with this is that this schedule wasn't made until recently. I mean, there was no schedule made last year, it was just right, if.
Okay, well, then the baseball team wasn't made until recently either.
Is that correct?
When was it
So how many
submitted?
away games you talking
10. 10.
Go
10
ahead and
away
approve
games.
it.
about? 10 games.
Approve them. I mean, that's, I mean, if we do it for the high school, then we need to do it for the,
Thank you.
We do.
Okay, so do I make a motion?
Yeah.
you make a,
Add it to the agenda first.
I make a motion to add the middle school baseball team
To the agenda,
to the
okay.
agenda. And now I make a motion
No, wait a
to,
minute, we have to get this
Oh,
one.
okay,
Second.
sorry.
Have to have a second?
second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we need a motion to pay for these trips.
I make a motion to pay for the 10 away games for the middle school.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll say,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed?
Okay. Is there anything else under new
Yes.
business? Okay. I really think we need someone to mark our fields, to take care of our fields. I know the coach said he would do his, and if he wants to do his, that's fine. But we don't have to pay someone for equipment because we have equipment. They can use our equipment. But on the days that we have home games, the middle school is the day that the high school is gone. So, and in the event, I'm assuming that these men work during the day. I'm pretty sure they all have jobs. In the event that it rains, you have no idea what goes into getting a field ready. Just as of tonight, the middle school was supposed to be away at a game, and it was canceled because they couldn't get the field ready. It takes a lot of work to get a field, and there's no way they can get off at work at 4:30 and come in and take care of these fields and mark them before the game at 5:30.
Well, Mike is our director of transportation and facilities and maintenance.
Yeah, but you've got an athletic director at Sheldon Clark High School too. That's assigned
That
to
was-
supervise those fields because they're off
Okay,
the
well,
property.
let's call her in and see what we need to do on this as far as even hiring somebody to do.
Thursday, just hire
Thursday,
someone to
okay.
come in and take care of our fields and mark them like we did before. And I'm the first one that didn't agree with that in the beginning, but I tell you, the fields are like $1 million.
Well, if you hire somebody, then you gotta set a salary, you gotta,
Well, we can do
So we
that
can put that on the agenda for
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Okay. And get some estimates, okay.
Thank
Thank you. Do I have to make a motion
So,
for that?
let me ask one question. So,
No,
are we
no,
done?
Thursday, we're not
So-
taking no action.
What's the other one gonna say?
What other one?
The high school coach.
well, the high school coach wants to take care of his
Well,
own
if he wants to
stuff.
take if he wants to take care of his field, he can. But the softball field has to be taken care of, and I don't know if he can get his field, if he works all day, and it rains, there's a lot of work in getting a field ready to play. By 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And in the past, Miss Harmon actually calls the games off. If she don't feel
Right.
it's suitable to be on the field, she
Right.
makes that call for
So
the high
let's,
school
let's,
athletic
let's
director.
speak, let's.
She
give
also
her-
is the district-wide
Yes.
athletic director.
Right,
So that's her call.
Okay.
That's their call.
That's what I was gonna say.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not,
Anything
While
else
ago.
I said, don't call me
No,
Mark.
that's it, it is.
Okay,
I got one
there.
comment to make. Which I'd just like to commend, which I talked to Mr. Craig Grayson, which our attendance rate, which is very important, and hopefully I don't know how it is at Eden, so, but our district-wide is 93.99, which
That's great.
I'd love to see it up there at 5, but that's gonna increase our SEEK money. This attendance rate, if we can sustain that, almost over about $140,000. It's important that kids, you know, and I know the parents may say, well, you're worried about the money. Yes, we are worried about the money, but we also worry about your kid and want them at school, and that's where you get a good education. And so I want to, you know, 93.99, you know, that's not bad. I think it's the highest it's been for, you know, a few years, but I'd like to see it reach 95. So I don't know, Mr. Hall, how you doing at Eaton?
We're up 2 points over last year, so we're in the highest point that we've been in a while.
And that's great.
That's great.
and you know, this is allergy season, flu season, it's great to be up.
I'm gonna take the pie in the face for, if I get there for a week, they get an opportunity to get their name drawn out. So that should be fun. You might wanna come over.
You still got your Super Bucks program or whatever?
We still do that too.
You have to let us know when that time and face that
Yeah,
is.
well, of
Yes.
course, some strawberry syrup, chocolate syrup.
That's all I got.
Okay, nobody else have anything?
No.
Okay, our next is reports, administrative staff reports, Martin County Education Association reports, and school reports. We have got one that has requested to speak on these reports, and it's Department of Transportation on the new bus route. Good evening, you say the best for last. My name's Connie, and I am a board employee. I'm a bus driver. And I missed last meeting, and you overrode the hiring freeze and decided to hire a full-time bus driver. I'm not pointing fingers, and I'm not saying we don't need bus drivers, but in order to have full-time bus drivers, we need a full-time opening, correct? So we had a new route made up, and I don't think anyone looked at the new route. Or did we ask for finances? Did you check finances if we have finances for salaries, insurance?
We knew that,
Liability?
we knew
Do we
that a lot
have-
of kids were standing up on the bus and didn't have a place to sit down, and that's all we needed to know.
I did not hear that said at all, and I have done some inquiries.
Yes, we.
I did not have any bus drivers tell me that they had, on this route, no bus drivers told me they had kids standing up.
We had
I did find one.
We had several that.
Can I have the floor? I found one bus driver that told me she had kids standing up. Now, I didn't talk to everyone.
Who told you that?
I'm not gonna name any names. I'm just telling you. Our Department of Transportation is in bad condition. Last year, we took some steps forward. We had Goodyear. We had kids on the bus last year standing up. We had Head Start on the buses. We had aides on the buses. I had a bus with 80-some kids and a 66-passenger bus. The only reason I got a larger bus is because my principal stepped up. I didn't ask for a bigger bus. I was told to deal with it. This year, I have not heard anyone say they had kids standing up. I also heard that it was mandated by the state. I spoke with the state person
What was mandated by the state?
that for safety, that they needed more bus drivers. It was mandated. That was in the meeting. I listened to the recording.
We asked if it was a safety issue, is that correct?
Well, if you listened to the recording, then you heard us being told that there was kids standing up on the buses.
I wasn't here. I didn't hear everything. Yes, I didn't hear it.
Said that kids were standing
Yeah,
up.
and that's all.
Well, I'm telling you, I called and I haven't heard that all year. I really haven't. Yeah, I know. I stood up here how many times last year telling you we had kids standing up. I was ignored. But like I said, I'm not saying we don't need bus drivers. We do, but we need some good routes. We need the Department of Transportation looked at. We need some management. We need this entire county looked at for the routes. You've got some dangerous routes out there.
Apparently.
Yeah, big time. And I've been there. I've been on that side. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just saying that we
I'm not either.
came so forward, we came so good last year and dealt with the people standing up. We had to. We were told to.
So this year we don't have anybody standing up?
I've had one bus driver tell me it's never crowded.
We
And had some.
We
I'm
had 2 or
telling you.
3 that night.
Now, I haven't talked to everybody. I have not talked to everybody. But I did talk to the state representative, and he said the state makes suggestions.
Well,
Okay.
usually we try to follow their suggestions.
Well, they've been making them for 8, 9 years that I've been here. They also made, you don't have a bus for this new route. All I'm saying is that we need to stand back. We need to look at the Department of Transportation. You need to look at the county, a good summer project. Look at your routes. I'm sure they can be improved. And I'm sure you could have a full-time bus driver, probably more than one. But this, and I got a copy of the route. Did you guys look at the route that they're wanting to put on?
We were
No, I
just
just
told the
know
route
that-
was needed.
Yeah, we were told, and
And
the
it
bus
was
needed.
needed for reasons of safety, is that correct, Mike?
They overcrowded on the middle school road.
Overcrowded, so that's.
It was my number one issue.
Okay, yes.
But it did affect 68 kids. The
That-
transfer of buses waiting on the side of the road for buses, they expedited that, that's based on the dispatchers.
And it was, when it was brought up that it was a safety issue, then we went ahead and created the run.
Right.
So,
But did you look at the run? No. What I was told when I looked at this run, at middle school was what your concern was. Put another bus. I asked bus drivers, and I asked the team, as long as we had 4 bus drivers, 4 buses there, they said we were okay. Like I'm saying, you have buses on both sides. I'm not familiar on the other side as I am over here, but you've got 66 passenger buses with an 82 list of kids for that one bus. Now, they all don't get on there in one time. I've got 70 some on mine. I've got a big bus this year because they gave it to me last year because of my overcrowding. You've got 2 routes on here that you've got 66 passenger buses.
Well, I know
Take this bigger bus and put it over there.
I know my son won't ride the bus because it's too crowded.
They're crowded, I guarantee you, but like I'm saying, mine's not as crowded this year.
It isn't safe. And apparently there are unsafe routes because I got phone calls one day when it snowed that some of the bus drivers had pulled off and was calling people to come and get their kids.
That's another thing. That's the winter emergency. It should have been published in the newspaper. It was not.
What? What should have been published?
When the roads are unsafe, where you can go pick up your kids, where the buses will be pulling off. I was one of those buses, and I think you got a complaint. I pulled off at, what is it, Zip Zone? That's on the emergency winter route. Now, I did go up one road, and I prayed all the way through it, because I did slide. So,
at that point, I pulled off, and my parents were grateful. I even had a parent come out and offer to take other kids that I couldn't get hold of the parents, but you can't let do. But for her to take her kids home and come back, I was grateful that she did that. But I'm just saying, you need to look at your Department of Transportation. Our Director of Transportation job was abolished when Mr. Cornett.
No,
You need to, I think Gary Ball made the
Yeah, it
motion.
was, we abolished it, we abolished the job, the job that the person had, we cannot abolish.
Right, and
the
you
daily
divvied it
business.
out. You divvied it out.
Yeah, we did it out.
We didn't abolish the duties,
Right, you
the job was
distributed them.
abolished.
Yeah, the job, yeah.
But what I'm saying you need to look at, you need a Director of Transportation at the garage. They can't see what goes on from this board's office, from Central Office. I don't know, do you hear on the radio all the time? I know you hear it most of the time. I mean, it's a mess. And here we've got 40 days till the end of school. All I'm saying is that we need to stand back, look at the county, and see what you need
Well,
for safety reasons.
the board created a job for safety reasons.
Right.
And we had our Director of Transportation who was there.
and the bus
And
drivers.
the bus driver, and there's nothing else that we can do except,
The bus drivers are.
I'm just saying, look at it. Keep your
Well-
run, but look at it and make good
There's-
routes for all the bus drivers.
there's
need it.
There's nothing personally that we can look at. We have to depend on,
Then you need to get a few people, make you a little committee, 1 or 2 people, talk to the bus drivers. Not just one. Go out there, ride the
No, there were
buses.
several here that night. How many was it that suggested?
They made the request, and we
They
try
made
to
the request.
accommodate that request.
Well, anytime kids are standing up on a bus, it
Yeah.
is a safety issue, and we need to, I mean, that's what made us do
yeah.
that.
I didn't hear that last year. And we had lots of buses last year with kids standing up. And also, you've got
I don't think
3
I-
buses going down one route.
I wasn't here last year.
I know,
I
I know a lot.
I wasn't here
popped
last
in on the
year.
bus before, you'd see 3 to a seat or more in the back, be really
Exactly.
crowded.
Right.
I saw that.
They need to
Yeah.
hear us.
And this emergency route you're talking about in the bad weather or something like that, is there a written plan for that?
Yes, there is, somewhere. It was published, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but it was published in the newspaper.
Need to run to the restroom.
I was on a different route at that time. I made them,
2 years ago,
People
I
out
don't think
there.
it should be published.
every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, my parents knew it when I stopped at Visit. That was used several times. On my other route, when I drove it, when they came up with it, I was at Peter Cave. The parents would bring their kids out.
Anything like that, I'm for having it in letter form and publishing it in the paper. Because,
Yes.
I mean, that little child gets a letter, not in the school, but when it gets off the bus, it's handed a letter
We
explaining
did that too.
duties like that happen. So that little child probably doesn't lose it between the end of the bus and that. But if he does, if he or she does, it's in the newspaper too, so all the public knows. It's very important. I agree with you on that.
And it should be more than once every 2 years.
Well, the bus drivers are the first rule of defense. They're the ones driving the bus. I've never driven the bus. And they need the autonomy just like a classroom teacher to teach the way they want to teach, but they need to make that safety call out there. I'm never going to force a bus driver to go in.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't
Because
either.
they made that call and did it diligently across the district. I told Mr. Gold to mark on the calendar the March 3rd date that we come back in there. In fact, we're having a safety meeting Wednesday with all of them. We're going to kind of give them a pat on the back and refresh safety rules going for the rest of the year. But they needed a pat on the back for what was done. I mean, he sent a letter out to the bus drivers through their email server. You know how you sent the regular
I
letter?
got the letter also.
But you sent that the next day. It was on
You sent an
Thursday. You
email
sent a Friday email to the
Oh,
bus
oh,
drivers
thank you.
and all the
Yes, thank you,
staff.
drivers, everybody, yeah.
You know, we just running down. It's like, and I know you did that call at,
Did some, I did, yeah.
and that's calls you
And that's what
made,
we're
and that's proper. It can't, like I said, it occurred across the.
There's 2 of us there.
These bus drivers have personal phone calls and they call these parents. We had a bus driver walk almost a mile to take a kid home.
Yeah.
The little one was taken home earlier on a smaller bus, a kindergarten kid, And the bigger one missed it. This bus driver walked, what, over a mile?
Spicy Mountain.
Up Spicy Mountain because of rope
That's one of
addition
the ones, yeah.
to get the kid
We've
home.
had the reports on the bad road, Spicy Mountain, that's one of the ones I.
And it was in the paper this week, if you read that paper, but that's how
But I'm just saying.
good
we
these
need to-
people are, and they're great people.
We need to focus more on transportation. You've got 3 buses up for 1997, you've got 2 1997s and 99. The state recommends or suggests that you sell those, take them off the road.
We've got 2 more
We got
ordered.
2 new ones coming.
We just got 2 more, now we're getting 2 more. That's pretty good.
So we got 4 coming in?
No,
We've got 2
last
and,
year.
and then now we've got 2 more.
Well, that's, okay, so you've got 2 more, so you've got 3 of those that you need to sell.
4. Right. But they're supposed to be good as well.
Yeah, we got 2 coming in this spring.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, look, you know, buses are supposed to be divvied out by seniority and stuff. But first, the number of students on your route is what designates what size bus you need. Like I said, on this route, you've got 2 girls over driving 66 passenger buses. I think one of them told me she had 70 kids on it, on her list. Now that, she couldn't tell me what she had on a day. On my list, I think I had 74 at the beginning of the year. I may have 64 some days, 68 some days, 62 some days. Last Friday, I probably didn't have 30. They were all in Frankfurt. It varies. I don't think I've ever seen the full capacity.
My head goes off to all school bus drivers.
I know, but I'm just saying we need to look at it.
Yeah.
The Department of Transportation needs your attention. They need procedures. I don't know what you want to call it. But the way it's running and the chaos, that's a big safety hazard. So, let me see if I can do anything else. They said the new the route was created just for the middle school to high school. Like I said, if the 4 buses aren't enough, put your medium-sized bus or put another bus on it. For that, from the middle school to high school, you've got one route now that pays an hour and a half a day. It's not even a full bus run, just from the middle school to Sheldon Clark. A few other things. We are transporting children from Warfield Elementary to the middle school to the high school. You've got elementary, and last year, we couldn't even transport a girl from Old Route 3 to Sheldon Clark to Eden. We were told that was not allowed. It's out of district. I
think
found that out
consolidation-
after this.
I think the consolidation has knocked everything out of the whack.
This is elementary children.
They-
Going
Are
from
they just supposed to be on a
Warfield,
bus with elementary kids? Because I don't.
you're
Well, she's
transport,
talking
they're out of
about-
district.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
coming
she's
from
talking-
Warfield Elementary. It should not be.
That child's on my bus.
They're
She
changing
gets-
buses 2
She
times.
leaves Warfield Elementary on a bus, Rhonda and Markham's bus, or one of those buses coming from. She leaves elementary, she goes to the middle school over there, she gets off that bus onto one of the transfer buses, comes over here, then she transfers my bus and goes home to Buffalo Hill. She goes to school at Warfield
So that's out of
Elementary. So
district.
she's transferring once at middle school, and then she's getting up to the high school and transferring again at the high school. This is an elementary child we're talking
Like I
about.
said, I don't know who it is. I wasn't pointing
So they're
fingers.
going
I'm
out-
just telling
so
you,
they
there's
should be
things
going to
out
school
there
at Eaton,
we need to
but
look
they're going
at.
out of district.
But, and that's their business if they want to go out of district, but shouldn't they have to drive?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we were told
Because
before.
that child is transferring at the middle school. She's getting off an elementary bus. Having to get on a middle school bus over there, transfer over here,